What's going on, people? What is going on? You are now tuning in to the six-man convo. Technical difficulties. Dirt Cutter, you will get your ass stoop slapped for messing my computer up. Let's get it. So we're gonna switch it up a little bit today. Hey. What's going on, people? What is going on? As you already know, man, this is your man, Six-Man K Styles, man. We finally live. It is Tuesday night, which lets you know this is the Six-Man Convo. I am your host, the Six-Man K Styles. And boy. And to the stage left, decided to go off the camera for a second. Mr. Mimi, Mad Mike Sports. And we got a special guest tonight, as you already know, man. You need a therapist in your life. Somebody to make you feel good. With thoughts and conversation about these Atlanta Falcons. The therapist, ATL, aka the homie Juan. What's going on?
What it is, man? How you doing? What's going on, good people?
What's going on? Hey, you hear the new you hear the new tunes now.
Oh, brother, the intro was fire, man.
You hear them tunes, right? I say I might well go ahead and switch it up a little bit.
You've been doing your thing over there.
Hey man, hey, look. I ain't DJ. Hey, look, I'm trying to be like DJ Khaled, do absolutely nothing and get all the credit for it. But
not that.
as you already know, man, you know we got to kick this off with the roll call. You already know what we do here, man. And today's roll call, we're gonna kick it off with Pat Norris. I want to give a special shout out to one of the only members of the Six-Man K-Style channel, Andrew G. Appreciate you tuning in. Joseph Thornton, John St. Clair, JB. We got Michael Walker, Jay Diaz, Lee 85, Brian Peoples, Low Ski, D. Coleman. We got Jamarius 58. We got Drew True Statement in the building. Pamela Johnson, John St. Clair, Trey Hill, Xavier Littman, Trey in the building. Got Ted Sports and Gaming, and we got Dre Murphy. So, hey man, definitely appreciate it, man. And like I say, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and share, hit this like button, hit the subscribe button on your way in. So let's go ahead and cut this thing off at the right time in 3, 2, boom. That's that comedian cutoff. Every time you hear a joke, listen. All right, people. All right, man. As we already know, man, welcome to the Six-Man Convo, where we will be speaking on some Atlanta Falcons off-season talk. Now, if anybody didn't get a chance to check out the Cooler Talk episode last night, there was plenty of conversation that went by. There was conversation that needed to continue. But before we get into that, we didn't get a chance to let Juan get his thoughts on the Ryan Nielsen presser. The floor is yours, my brother.
Before I get into it, JB, I got you, bro. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Hang in there. But hey man, I was excited. I got a chance to actually get the little 4 minute excerpt that the little interview he did today, and he pretty much said the same thing. I mean, Ryan Nielsen, he's all in. He's completely in. But what I like about it is he has that intensity. He has bought in. He knows what the organization is going to do. He's ecstatic to be on the Falcons team, to the point where if practice was tomorrow, he'd be out there working with them guys. And he sees the vision that Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot have, and he's willing to contribute. And I mean, in my personal opinion, he is going to help revolutionize our defense. Like Mike said the other day, we're no longer going to have that prissy mentality when it comes to our defense. We're going to be physical. We're going to be tough. And the one key thing that I took away from his whole interview is he is going to focus on execution. He said it in the interview the other day, and he said it earlier today. Execution is one of his main focus. So all of this arm tackling and all of this tippy-toeing around the line, y'all can get rid of that. And I'm excited. I'm excited because, like I said, this is exactly what we need. He's going to put his DNA imprint on this defense without trying to redo what Dean Pease has already put in place.
Right, that was the point we was going to make last night. So, like I said, definitely is a very interesting presser. So, anybody that didn't get a chance to see it, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and look it up, and you can make the judgment for yourself. Now, now, Mad Mike Sports, what is on your mind tonight? What you want to speak on?
I forgot what the subject was. Damn. I had it earlier today. Shit.
I was just letting Juan get his thoughts out on Ryan
I don't
Nielsen.
feel a damn sleep. Just Ryan Nielsen. Well, shit. I had something else in mind, and I fell damn asleep and I forgot. So,
You sound
I'll
like
just
me.
expand on what.
You sound just like me.
Hey, that sometimes that sleep be so good, boy, you forget every goddamn thing. Like what day it is, all that.
Right.
Just to expand on what he said, man. It's pretty much just the mentality that I'm falling in love with, because one thing that grinds my gears is them damn D-led and those damn reporters. They ask the same shit over and over again, expecting them to get the same, like a different result. Like that shit is annoying. He already said what he need to say. Like we gotta get some fucking. I caught Sean Payton in the bed naked, and he gonna frame him to bring in some of the damn Saints players or something. Like, what the hell y'all want? What are y'all trying to get from them? Like, y'all keep asking the same questions over and over again, expecting to get some juicy topics or juicy stories. It's very annoying. So I like the fact that he's telling them to shut the fuck up. That's what I like. I mean, does that surprise anybody that I have that mentality?
No, it shouldn't, because you've been saying it to the point where you sounded like a broken record and ain't nobody listening. We've been saying it over and over again. This team needs a stout defense. We got to get stops. Hey, y'all, it's Billy. Hey, Billy. Been a while since I seen you.
Boy.
Boy.
All right, man. Hey, Ant, man, what's going on with you, man?
Hey, what's up, y'all? I
No,
can't even call it.
hey, man. Like I said, man, like appreciate you joining us. Like I said, definitely wanted to get your take on how you felt about the press conference for Ryan Nielsen. Like I said,
Ooh.
we didn't really get a chance to get into it yesterday. So I thought we might as well go ahead and call a mulligan and let you get your take on it.
Ooh, man. I was ready to jump through the damn screen. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, he was getting me amped up. Like, it's like I had put it in the chat yesterday. I haven't heard the phrase Atlanta defense and attack in the same sentence in a long damn time. Like, I'm talking about at least 10 years. So just that alone made me want to, like, bro, I just want to go tackle somebody right now.
Y'all gonna see Big Ant on Sundays on the field next to Grady Jarrett. I'm telling
He gonna be doing like Warren Sapp. He gonna be coming in your cubicle, knocking you over.
Terry Tate, office linebacker.
But I'm waiting on Jerry Gray to do a press conference, because that's what I want to hear from.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Especially since we now know he's the assistant head coach.
Yes, sir.
So that's a very interesting spot to have him in. Is that kind of telling you guys that maybe Arthur Smith, maybe a lot of these coaches are now looking at the emphasis on trying to build the defense up or trying to build the new identity?
Well, I'll say it like this: to put him at assistant head coach / defensive coordinator with the experience that he has, and he's showed Arthur Smith, that's smart, because now you have a veteran coach on the team that everybody can learn from. The head coach, defensive coordinator, and he brings that intensity to the defensive side of the ball, but at the same time, because Arthur Smith he does have his head on as part of defense. He helps bring to life what Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith have been trying to do as far as changing the culture. So it's no better spot than to have Wisdom standing right beside you all the time. You can pick his brain during the games. He may see stuff you don't see.
And then also speaking on other Falcons news, and let me see, shout out to Jay Diaz. I forgot to hit this up. Blackberry, you hold on right quick. Let's get this out the way. As we already know, Charles London is officially on the Tennessee Titans coaching staff now.
Okay.
So it's a possible. So you may be looking for a new quarterbacks coach.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how they gonna attack this. Are they going to get a guy who's a legit quarterback coach? Or are they going to go for a guy that's kind of on that same rapport of how Charles London is, who's really a running backs coach, coaching quarterbacks? It depends.
K-Style. I'm glad you said that.
I took it.
I'm glad you said that, and I know Mike is going to have all the information on it, but I just wanted to shoot this out there. Do y'all see where this is going? Mm-hmm. You have a open opportunity to get a coach that's going to help point Ritter in the right direction. that's going to absolutely have enough time to work with Ritter to enhance what he already has. Remember what I said, those last 4 games, that was like his tryouts. They threw him in the game to see how he was going to handle pressure and if he could lead this team. So now you can go out and look for a coach that's really going to be able to hone in on his skills. Mark my words.
Right. Mike kind of silent up there right now. Kind of got some folk worried up here. Like he over there contemplating shit.
I'm just waiting my turn. Damn, y'all talk. I talk too goddamn much, and when I talk, when I don't say,
man, these folk come to see you talk, man.
Now he talked too much. Now, okay.
Now you got double ones. Now you got double ones.
Get the hell up all the time.
Shit.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you know we just messing with you, Mike, man. What's going on?
Oh man, it's already been like, to be honest, it's already been handled. People don't realize they don't really have to hire a quarterback coach, because the quarterback coach was already telling you guys about the progression of Desmond Ridder. That ring a bell?
Mm-hmm.
You know who that is? That guy is? Dave was already doing that. Dave was already doing that. He's the one who's been handling the quarterback. Like, they don't like, the thing is, he was a passing game coordinator. So he was an assistant. Okay? That's what he was a part of. He wasn't the quarterback's coach. The quarterback coach was the offensive coordinator himself, and Dave were gone. So they can go in and bring in the guy, but for the most part, TJ Yates is already there. I mean, I think he played quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right about that? So it's like the Falcons know what they're doing, man. It's like, they're fine, man. I don't foresee any issues. If they bring in the guy, they bring in the guy. But like, Arthur knows exactly what he's doing. He already has his guys there.
Black Bear.
Home team. What's happening? Home team. What's happening? Home team.
What it do?
What's happening?
Yeah, London. He's been a journeyman already in his career. It's something about that guy. He can't stay in one place at one. Now he's back in Tennessee. Some ain't right with the guy. Okay, I'm just gonna call it like it is.
What makes you say something when they right about him? The fact that he can't stay nowhere.
He can't stay nowhere. He goes somewhere for a couple years and he out. And now he back in Tennessee where he was a running backs coach. I think he was.
Right.
I think he's a good snitch. That's what I think he is.
He good at something. He good at something, though, ain't he, Mike? He good at something.
Hey, Daddy, how I look? Like a
damn bitch.
Oh man,
it gotta be snitching. It can't be football. It gotta be snitching.
Gotta shine some damn body.
That's all out there.
He want to go somewhere where somebody can make him feel good.
All right. So with that type of move right there, is there any person that y'all may know that y'all have in mind that could possibly take that role? I see people in here throwing Dave Ragone as far as also taking the role of a quarterback's coach as well. We don't even know really who's out there outside of Ken Dorsey. I mean, we seen Ken. We seen Ken Dorsey throw clipboards at people. That may be a plus.
I mean, with that boy who was under Matt was it Sims? Was it Sims?
Man, see,
Who won the Super Bowl? I think it was Sims. I forget which one of them boys it was, but it was a daddy's boy who was a quarterback, third string quarterback.
I think that was Chris Sims. Yeah.
Was it
yeah,
Chris
Chris
Sims?
Sims, not Matt Sims, Chris Sims. That's right.
Yeah, so I think he's a guy that's kind of already primed for that position. I mean, that's what third quarterbacks are. They're essentially an extension of the coach anyway. Kind of keep the game plan straight, keep the quarterback straight as far as the game plan is concerned, and like, all right, be the eyes and ears on.
P. Kobe said call Matt Schaub up. Yeah, he didn't held the clipboard for damn near 7 years down here after his heyday.
I think he's already coaching, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's already coaching.
Could be. So, Black Bear, like I asked the other fellas the question before, man. Ryan Nielsen, man, how you feel about it?
I like Ryan Nielsen, man. I like his approach to the defensive side of the ball. I like defensive minds whose mindset is toughness. That's what I'm drawn to when I'm looking for a defensive coach. What's their approach to the defensive side of the ball? We know technique, we know fundamentals, all this stuff had to come into play. But if we being real, you get to the NFL because you have fundamentals, you have some technique, but you have the fundamentals down. I don't need a coach that's saying, well, everybody I get, I'm gonna try to turn them into something. I don't need a coach that's trying to turn somebody into something. I need a coach that's just trying to elevate a skill set that players already got. That's what I need. Dan Quinn's issue is he's always trying to use somebody as a damn project.
I could have sworn I said something like that before. I could have sworn I said something.
I think you have, Mike.
You probably have, because it's so blatant. That's what he does. But I like a defenseman who is about toughness. He's gonna go look for guys in the draft. He's gonna go look for guys, in free agency or undrafted. He's gonna look for guys that got a mental toughness mindset. They mentally tough and they physically tough. But it got to start upstairs. That's where it started, and that's where he gonna go find. He gonna go find them guys who got it made up in their mind that there's nobody out there that's better than them. There's nobody out there that's tougher than them. And it starts there. The abilities, the skill sets, and all that stuff is definitely something that you have to pay attention to. But when I'm looking for a defensive player, I'm looking for a tough-minded defensive player, somebody that's tough-minded and that ain't always silly acting. I don't need silly acting guys out there gyrating and riding the pony and shit. I need guys that's out there ready to take care of business.
Brilliant and shit. One ain't no damn gritty. I was about to say something about that damn.
Speaking of, look, I'm about to say, speaking of gritty, might just take his ass over here. Might just take his ass over here so we can see that bullshit ass shit he do. So he can skedaddle in the end zone.
But yeah, man, it's his approach to the defense side of the ball. All that draws into pressure on the quarterback. All that draws into edge containment, and I think that's something that's his big thing. His big thing is the edge. His big thing is keeping things contained, but also being able to pin your ears back in a time on a third down or when the game on the line and you trying to get the other team off the field. It's not just all about being back there in we just gonna play keep away. We just gonna play keep away, and we just gonna play prevent defense. No, he's gonna go get guys he can trust to cover, so that he can let them guys up front, that front seven, pin their ears back when the time comes. You got to be able to do it all with Nielsen.
Yeah, That's true. And and kind of going back to what you were saying about Dan Quinn and how he would experiment with players. And this is one of the main reasons why Vic Beasley didn't pan out like a lot of people thought he was. He still had a consistent career, but it was like his main thing was rush the passer. Don't be trying to put him in coverage. Don't try to turn him into Croy Bierman. You got Ricardo Allen, who's a corner, playing free safety. Okay, that's cool, but if that's going to sustain things,
Right.
you sitting here and I was so scared. I was so scared, boy. I thought he was gonna make Matt Bryan into the middle linebacker. That's how crazy that was.
Yeah, man. He tried that with Michael Parsons for a little bit. Remember when they first started playing Michael Parsons, they had him out there in coverage a lot until he finally learned from his damn mistake with Vic Beasley. He finally learned from a damn mistake and just let Michael Parsons be Michael Parsons.
Yeah, let his ass just go. Go ahead.
Let me ask y'all a question. Does anybody know how big Hassan Reddick is?
Hassan, he about the size of
about 2. I think he's like 6'2", 228 or something like that.
Yeah, you about the same size Debo was. It's about the same size Debo.
Going here, you kind of see where we're going here.
Yep.
You just brought up a guy, and everybody said he was too small on the edge.
Who they said was too small on the edge?
Hassan Reddick.
Oh shit! That man got like 12, 19 sacks.
Yeah, Vic Beasley, he was the same one. They said he was too small to be on the edge. They said a lot of guys. They said Von Miller was too small to be on the edge. It's like when you put the right necessary pieces around these guys, the size don't matter. You see how improving the roster and continuously bringing in guys to take away certain aspects of the game. You know what I was saying? If you're gonna bring in a guy like a Will Anderson, if you're gonna bring in a guy like a Vic Beasley, have those skill sets, let them come in with those skill sets. But what defensive coordinator's job, but what the general manager's job is to maximize his ability by putting guys in other spots that pick up those spaces. So it's not when you look at failures of certain players. When we talk about like guys like Vic B, who had 15 sacks, and then you wonder why the next couple of years he only had 6 and 7 and 6 and 7 and 6 and 7. It's because you didn't put the necessary pieces around them.
Yep.
So it was a coaching failure with Vic Beasley. It was a coaching failure.
They said that's close enough. They say he's 6'1", 230. Yeah,
that DJ.
He's
Debo. That's literally Debo.
That DJ.
That's literally Debo.
Yeah. but like you said, that's also come down to the fact where if you invest in that front four, that front three, you able to get those guys that can be able to open it up for a guy like that. Then you can be able to see that. See, when we talked about Vic Beasley and his 15 sacks, we don't talk about Jonathan Babineau, Courtney Upshaw, Shy Hageman, Brooks Reed, Dwight Freeney. Like you had Adrian Claiborne. You had a plethora of interchangeable pieces.
Wasn't Poe there too?
Poe was the very next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
But y'all see where we going with this? If you want to maximize pass rushes, you gotta get some wall. You gotta get some beef up front.
Beef.
And they don't necessarily have to be no big sloppies up there, but they got to be guys that's going to be able to be aggressive and violent to get past the tackle.
Yeah. You know what, K Styles? I saw I was on TikTok and they showed a film cut of the 2000 Baltimore Ravens where they had Syracuse and all them,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy was breaking down how the defense was just killing teams, run, pass, whatever. And you're right, them big dudes up front was allowing people like Ray Lewis to eat all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And they were so successful, they would shut your run game down at the line of scrimmage and still get at your quarterback to prevent you from throwing.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't do jet sweeps, you couldn't do reverses, you couldn't do none of that. They were on you.
Well, you couldn't do jet sweeps with that team because Ed Reed and what was the other dude?
Chris
I forgot his
McAllister.
name.
Oh my God, them
Bruh, speed,
Chris McAllister.
you want to talk, boy?
Man.
You want to, boy? You wouldn't finna try to do no jet sweep. Them jokers out there being run sideline to sideline.
No. You could. There wasn't no going up the gut. Wasn't none of that.
But Ant can feel me on this when it comes when you looking at the big boys now, like K Style said, getting that beef up front. Ant, tell them it's about the hands, it's about their hand speed, their hand fighting, and their footwork.
Oh,
Right.
Their hand fighting and their footwork.
That's,
The reason why we was disappointed that the Falcons coaching style failed with Rashid Hateman is because that dude had some hands on him, and he was tough. That dude, Rashid Hateman had some damn hands, boy. The hand fighting and the footwork and being able to stand his ground in that middle. Rashid Hateman had the intangibles. You gotta have the intangibles. You can't just be a big guy now. You got to have the intangibles of an interior lineman or on the defensive side of the ball, and it come with them hands and that footwork.
Yeah.
can we pass the plate around for Deacon of Defense, Blackberry? Can we get some tissues for Mad Mike because he was over there having the defensive go.
Sound like
I want y'all to think about that. Between 2016, 2017, you lost Babineau to retirement, Dwight Freeney retirement, Rashid Hageman, Dontari Poe, Adrian Claiborne, Brooks Reed.
Yeah. Did y'all see what Claiborne did to Brady in the Super Bowl? All I'm gonna say. Claiborne was a quarterback mauler.
They let all the big fat uglies go, and that's when we start losing. We let big fat uglies walk and walk away to find a goddamn wide receiver.
Yep.
Right. Which is very
signed a wide receiver and drafted a wide receiver.
Look, which is very interesting because I was gonna ask y'all this question too. Now, before I get to this question, as I look at the Saints sack numbers last year, do anybody know who Caden Ellis is?
No.
No.
Oh, what's that?
The name sound familiar.
Carl Granderson. Kentavious Street.
Nope.
Tano Pasananon. Whatever the fuck.
I thought you about to say Pop.
I know Kentavious Street. I heard that I heard Street before.
But the mindset of what that defense brings is they had almost 50 sacks as a unit.
Good God.
Grief.
And the biggest difference that they played defense down in New Orleans compared to what we did was they play a lot of man coverage. This is why they looking for those big ass corners. That's why they looking for a big corner to play number 2 to AJ Terrell.
Yep.
But let me ask y'all a question. And I saw this on Twitter yesterday. It was a question that was asked. Who do y'all feel was one of the worst draft picks the Falcons have made in the last 6-7 years?
Oh, that
That's
one easy
easy.
for me.
I think
That
I know
really-
what Blackberry
They
gonna say.
really,
Stop
they
Blackberry.
really easy for me.
Stop it,
Oh no,
Blackberry.
it ain't even who y'all
Mine.
thinking. It ain't even who y'all thinking.
Who
Who
you
had
have?
Hold on, you said in the last how many
Calvin
years?
Ridley. For me.
I say Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, that's what I
Y'all
was
say
gonna say.
Ritter.
Mm-hmm.
You said in the last how many years?
In the last 6-7 years.
Oh, last 6-7 years. Oh no, it ain't who. That was more than 7 years ago.
I mean, you can go as far back as you want to. Nah,
Well,
we're not doing,
I'll keep it in that range.
we're not doing the all ass team today. We're
Um,
not doing that.
This ain't part 2.
Now, see,
I'm about to tell you, but look, y'all already talking about why. Kev, tell them why. I don't even want to do
Okay.
it. You do it.
Okay, so Dre asked Calvin Ridley the worst. How?
Sweet how?
well,
Let me tell you
before y'all tell them how, I'm gonna say I do have to say Michael Walker because but after the fact though, after the fact,
Would have known.
because I wasn't low on Michael Walker until he started playing ass football because I actually liked him coming out of college. I did. I liked him coming out of college.
He was pretty good in college. He's a pretty decent athlete coming out.
All right.
Yeah.
Good
Player,
noodles.
I mean.
Now here's the big question. Why do I say Calvin Ridley was one of the worst draft picks the Falcons have ever that made in the last few years? Because by picking Calvin Ridley, you essentially destroy the identity of the offense that took them to the playoffs the 2 years prior.
Yep.
Wow.
And the reason why I say that too is it wasn't necessary. What ended up happening was it fell into the trap of trying to make this such a high octane offense.
Greatest show on turf.
You had defensive woes that you had to clean up. You still needed possible another running back. You may have needed an offensive lineman. You may have needed a defensive lineman, a safety. Like you did anything there. And when we're talking about this, we're talking about going from back-to-back playoff appearances.
Yeah.
From the Super Bowl and being one of the only Super Bowl losing teams to actually make the playoffs the following year. We one of the few teams that did.
True. That is true.
Yeah.
They don't talk about that.
Listen to what he's saying, though. Kev is saying something key, though. He's saying something key. He said pick. He never said anything about his talent. He said pick.
Right.
Yeah. So
it's not a shot at Ridley, chat.
No,
it's not a shot at Ridley.
No, Ridley is he's one of the best young wide receivers in this game. But for what the Falcons needed, it wasn't the time.
Right.
And what you ended up doing was you traded away the identity of running the football to passing the football. And this is the problem that this is one of the major reasons why the Falcons never went back to the playoffs, because we lost the balance.
We were one-dimensional. We could score, but we couldn't stop anybody. So Ridley and Julio could get out there and catch all kind of balls, run all kind of routes, get touchdown after touchdown. But at the end of the day, like you said, that was the Matt Ryan putting up 40 points. The team put up 41. We couldn't stop nobody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, it was just. Juice said it's a shot at them. Yes.
That boy Peter.
Yes.
I told you,
Absolutely.
everybody think Juice the nice one. Hey man,
Nah,
Peter, boy.
Boy,
That boy slice your off.
You would tear your head off in a heartbeat. Y'all don't realize that too.
Right. Don't let the smooth Jew fool you.
Right. So now, if you're talking about what the Atlanta Falcons did the last couple of years with Drake London and Kyle Pitts, it's a different story because think about it. You lost your number 1 and your number 2 receiver in the same exact year.
Yep.
3 months apart.
You had a running back that couldn't run worth a damn.
Oh man.
Your number 1 receiver was Russell Gage.
Thunder thighs.
We seen what happened that Thursday night football game against the Patriots. You
Lord,
y'all want to relive that again?
Hell, don't do it, K-Style.
I ain't got enough headache medicine for that.
Right.
We couldn't even score a point.
Right. And shout out to Dre Harrison with the $10. He said the Ridley pick was simply TD trying to catch lightning in a bottle again with a wide receiver.
There we go.
He was trying to save his job.
Better.
Trying to tell you.
Yep. So
now, mind you, this was a man that did not know his own personnel. So just keep that in mind.
That was bullshit when he said that. That motherfucker knew what his personnel was. He went and got what he wanted.
Now,
who was the best offense during that time? Because it was 17, 18, right? Yeah, that was about 17, 18 when we draft really. Because it was so who was the best offense? Anybody can tell me who the best offense, because I remember specifically like the NFL was under pressure. Kind of
I think it was the Rams.
The numbers as far as it may have been the Rams. I'm thinking it was the Rams.
Ain't that when they had Rams? Ain't that when they had boy that we got?
Ty Gurley, yeah.
That's when they had Ty Gurley. That's when he was doing his thing.
Because that was before the TV contracts and all that. The reason why I'm saying that is because the NFL was under a lot of pressure at the time to get these TV contracts. And offense, we all know that sells. So now they have the contract, the TV contract. They're not even thinking about, scoring a ton of points now. So I think that played, and TD was so focused on helping the NFL get these TV contracts and making the product sell so they can get, the fans in the seats, because at that time also attendance was going down. So anytime you see that type of stuff, man, like it puts teams in a position where they have to do things that's outside of football. And that particular point, that was something that the Falcons were doing, because like you got to remember, your boy Rich McKay is a part of the competition committee, and competition committee is all about selling tickets and making sure the product is watchable. I think that's something too, because you heard him last year. He was saying like because the media, I forget who asked the question, but they asked the question of whether or not like the offense, the points were down. I think the points were down this season, and he said he wasn't too worried about it because it was, around average. So I think that's one of the main reasons why I say it's like at some point the organization, and that's why I love Arthur, I love Nielsen, because they don't give a damn about what the league is saying about offense. They playing ball right now, and they're building the team the way they need to. And that's what's gonna win, because they tried that. A lot of teams tried to have that high-powered offense. Look at Arizona right now. They regretting that $50 million trade, bro. Boy, they hurting.
Damn, and I'm just looking at that draft. Isaiah Oliver is the only player left from that draft class.
Woo.
Ooh, that's bad. Oh Jesus. Oh Lord. That's bad.
That's terrible.
That's not good. We was a top 10 offense, passing the ball, dead last in running the football.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute garbage on defense.
Mm-hmm. What tissue paper?
But that's what.
Okay, Hunter.
But yeah, that was the birth.
Amber Rose.
The Amber Rose Suki Hana slut walk defense. That was the birth of it, right?
You can have anything you want, baby.
You can have whatever you like. And the bad thing about it was they had 37 sacks that year, but they couldn't stop a goddamn nosebleed.
Yeah, that was Dan Quinn. He thought just speed and sacks was enough to win.
Nah, he thought embracing the suck was a motivational quote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, Jew said there's a reason TD is still unemployed.
We're gonna get restitution.
We're gonna get prostitution.
Prostitution.
We sitting up here doing what we doing. Yeah, he doing what we doing right now. Let's think about that for a second.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So y'all want to chime in on that? How you feel about that? How do you feel about at that period of time? Or do you want to continue? Or do y'all want to continue the conversation from yesterday?
Ooh, don't ask that question, K-Style.
What you say?
He know damn well what they want.
You know damn well.
Y'all want a little drama? Y'all want a little drama?
Did you say?
Y'all serious?
Wait, K-Star, did you say violence? Is that what you said?
I don't know if it's violence.
Violence.
Who? What Chills of the Die said, Chris, bring your ass down here. And Chris been running down the damn thing. but yeah, man. So what you feel about that at that period of time where that identity of the Falcons started to change and it changed for the worse? How did y'all feel about that?
Being somebody that watched how we did in '98 and then turn around, we tried to, do something similar in 16. For that to fall apart, I was irritated, man. Because we went away from our identity and trying to copy everybody else. And in turn, we had no identity. We just, we went wherever the wind blows. And it showed on the field. So what you started doing is you started wasting good players, the prime years of good players, not knowing what the heck you was doing.
That definitely wasn't a make me feel good time now.
Nope.
I'm gonna say at the time I didn't have an opinion about it. I started having more of an opinion about seeing that change when I noticed something that was a recurring thing, and that was when teams finally figured out, oh hell, just bust their ass up the middle, and we could just drive games out. That's when I got to where I was like, okay, yeah, this some bullshit.
got the open all night sign in the middle of the defense.
All you can eat.
And based off of how you go out there and you find your personnel, that's how your team is going to look. So when it started being more of a focus of who can we add out to, who can Matt Ryan air it out to, you completely lost the whole point of football in the beginning years of football.
Yeah.
It was to go out there and just beat each other up. we who gonna beat each other up the most and get the ball to the other side of the field? That's what it was. That's what football was. And when more teams started getting around with, and you know what, y'all, it's really not. It's not these teams' fault. It's not the league fault. It's not. It's society fault. It's society fault. Because the internet came about and everything became instant. Well, why is it taking so long for them to get the ball down the field? Well, let's find guys that can get the ball downfield faster. You know, and then not only that, remember I think I want to say this was a thing with Brian Urlacher in Chicago. I think it was him. Remember the situation where he had hit somebody so hard that you had everybody that didn't even pay attention to football talk about, oh, it's too violent. I don't want my child watching that on television.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what really got me was when you had the actual announcers that were actually telling you about the game. When the Falcons would come in, they talking about, well, you know, these Falcons hope to win the game. It's gonna have to be a shootout. A shootout. And they talking about, they saying it's against bad teams. A shootout.
See, I think that's what we should have known. Like, okay, like you said, this is some bullshit. Let me give you some numbers. The Atlanta Falcons in 2018. This was the downfall. Ran the ball for a total of 1,573 yards.
Damn, that's it.
Boy, excuse
me.
Julio Jones had almost 1,700 receiving yards. Calvin Ridley had 821. Muhammad Sanu had 838. Austin Hooper 660. Justin Hardy 133. Marvin Hall 149. Tevin Coleman 276.
Now, mind you, Tevin Coleman was the battering ram of the offense.
Mm-hmm. He had to because Devontae Freeman got hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. This is a serious question. Tupac was, how big was he?
About
Tupac?
About 5'9".
About 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah.
He was small. He wasn't that big.
170 pounds soaking wet.
Mm-hmm.
But that big motherfucker next to him, guess how old? That motherfucker was about 6'6", 340 something pounds, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think anybody was gonna ready to? Anybody was gonna fuck with him with that big motherfucker next to him?
Hell no.
You can't see where I'm going.
Yeah.
They wouldn't go fuck with him with that big ass monster sitting right next to him. When we talk about death row and go that big ass monsters next to those guys protecting Snoop, protecting Can I understand what's going on when I say this stuff? When they took those monsters away from Vic Beasley, they took those monsters away from Dwight Freeney. They said, "Oh shit, I'm about to beat this little motherfucker ass." Now he been talking all that shit. That's exactly what that's what happened when you took away Rasheed Hageman, Brian Cox, and all those big ass monsters on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't have the bullies, that's when the bullies get happy. You gotta have some bullies of your own. You gotta have some throwers of your own. You gotta have some people that's down to get with it at any given time. That's the problem. We got good players, but we don't got no bullies. Now we get
so you said You said
They don't
you
want
had
to play.
you said you had some suit and tie bean pie motherfuckers, but nah, you needed some goddamn niggas with some warrants on the damn team.
Hey man, that's what I'm talking about. That's
You need
exactly
some-
what you need.
We need some warrants on the team.
If your wife
K
told you
style.
if a big ass grizzly bear was at the damn at your front door, and your wife said, "All right, you need to go handle that," what you gonna do?
Hell no. The fuck?
All right then.
I
If I ain't got a shot, look.
I'm playing dead.
If I ain't got a shotgun, he can have the front door.
Hey, look, I'm gonna shit on myself. And hopefully
That's the point. No,
He gonna take the path of least resistance.
Exactly. Well, I'm about to lose 20 pounds of just straight shit. I'm gonna end up like Tupac at the end of that encounter. Dave said, "Do you think Coach Nielsen is going to ask Ebiketie to bulk up a bit? I think run defense is going to become important." No, I think what I like I said, from my opinion, I think you're going to see Ebiketie do a lot more rushing from the inside too.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. What everybody got to pay attention to is with Nielsen and Jerry on the team, basically they're going to do like what Mike was saying. They're going to try to restore the big guys up front, because if you listen to what Nielsen said, he specifically named two players on the defense. He named Troy Anderson and Grady Jarrett. And all season, when Troy Anderson and Grady Jarrett were allowed to roam and do things freely, they caused a lot of damage immediately. And Nielsen knows if we can get some people that can take the attention and pressure off of them guys, just imagine if you have Ebiketie and Troy Anderson roaming freely alone, and Grady Jarrett is able to do dangerous. You saw what I'm gonna put like this. You saw what Grady did to Brady by himself. You saw how he was tagging him in the last game. Imagine that every game.
Well, I'm gonna give everybody two teams I want people to go back and look at. I want people to go back and look at the Chicago Bears when Eddie Goldman and Akeem Hicks was together.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want you to look at this Philadelphia team this year. See, when you're able, when you have your star, Akeem Hicks was the star, right? He was the star.
Yep.
Eddie Goldman was his Robin to Batman, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really not about taking attention off of Akeem Hicks. It's really not about taking attention off of Grady Jarrett. It's more about guys being able to win their one-on-ones because you know Grady Jarrett is going to get double team, triple team. So when you got guys that are consistent in their play, meaning they're winning their one-on-ones, whatever their job is on that play, whether it's to stand their ground, be stout in the middle for the run game, or whether it's to push up field to get pressure on the quarterback. You have to be able to win your one-on-ones. We've had some guys that have been able to do that. It's just about doing it on a persistent, consistent basis. And a lot of it has to do with the edge. Edge guys, see, I tell people this. It's two positions out there on the field that they're on an island. They don't get no help. That's corner and left tackle.
Yep.
Everybody else gets help. Everybody else. Corner and left tackle are the only two positions on the field where they solo dolo. It's you and the man in front of you. On that defensive line, everybody's working in concert with one another. If you know Grady Jarrett is going to draw double teams and triple teams, when you doing stunts, when you shifting the line, everything that you have to do on that defensive line ties into what you're doing with each other in concert. So you have to be able to win your one-on-ones, because if Grady Jarrett is not able to get free, you got to be able to at least stand your ground or be able to push upfield, not get pushed back off the line. Even a step back is too much. I was coached by Q dogs. When none of that getting pushed back, you got pushed back, your ass got in bull in the ring until you grew some nuts.
Chuck here said Arthur Smith said build the D-line to get more explosive on offense. There's one thing we still have to talk about too. This is one thing that we have to notice as well, is when we're speaking on explosive on offense, we have to remember, especially when you're looking at the 4-game stretch with a Desmond Ritter, there was no Kyle Pitts.
That part.
Yep.
Now, the biggest difference between what we saw the first 13 games and the last 4 games was the willingness to throw the football at least 25 to 30 times a game.
Right.
Wow. Still averaging 150 yards rushing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I seen somebody say something in here, because I know Cordell Patterson been tweeting up a storm right now about guys to bring in and shit. And Kenan Allen,
No, don't do it, because I got a video coming out on that. We're not gonna get. I know exactly where you're going.
I just said no. I'm not saying anything
video.
else. I'm just saying no.
Mm-hmm.
From my standpoint, no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I ain't gonna spoil it.
But you know what? Like you said, we're gauging a man based on missing pieces. Because you gotta think about it. He brought more of a balance to the offense than the previous 13 games. Because he can make throws over the middle, he can make deep throws and everything. And he wasn't afraid, but he was also accurate. And he was getting a rhythm with Drake London enough to where he could put it where other players couldn't get it, even in traffic. So that made teams, secondaries, have to think twice. That made teams think twice about crowding the box. Because the one thing they knew, if we come up the gut, he's not going to panic. He's going to find a way to make a play. If he's in the pocket or if he get out the pocket. And that kind of balance is what helped him win them last 2 games. Because it didn't allow the defense to make our offense one-dimensional, even though we had missing pieces. Now, just imagine if Kyle Pitts was still on the field. Those deep shots could have been more formidable. We don't know.
You know, the problem wasn't the offense. The problem wasn't the routes they were running. The problem wasn't even the wide receivers. The problem was because Mariota.
Hercules.
Don't you see my case?
Hell, me and LeTravis got in a heated argument because I said, "Why are you holding on the damn ball too long?" And he thought I was absolutely tripping. He's like, "They not getting open." I said, "That's not true at all. They getting open, but he wouldn't let it loose." As a quarterback, it's not even about your wide receivers getting open. Quarterbacks have to have the ability to get that and let that bitch rip. Sometimes your wide receivers are not going to be open. You got to be able to throw them guys open. That's why you got big physical receivers. so they can go and contest the ball. The quarterback he's not doing them a favor when he's holding on and holding on and holding on and holding on and holding. That was the problem. When you saw Ritter getting, it wasn't Drake wasn't open a lot of those plays. We saw these plays in one game where he was just passing them bitches out of the air. Great. So the problem is not even the wide receivers, it's the quarterback. When the quarterback going with that mentality, I'm gonna let this bitch rip, it ain't shit you can do about it. That's when you got a more explosive offense. That's when the fear comes in. That's when the fear comes in when it comes down to the defense, because man, even if I have great coverage, goddamn, boy, Peyton Manning gonna find a way. Matt Ryan gonna find a way to get this bitch to Julio. That pass against Julio in the Super Bowl, that was great coverage.
Great coverage.
But man, I did what? He let that bitch rip. He didn't think not 1 second. Soon as he got free and he went to the sideline, he saw Julio there, he let that bitch rip while he was running. You can't think as a quarterback. You gotta let that bitch rip. That was the problem with the Falcons offense last year. It had nothing to do with the wide receivers. They had capable wide receivers to get open. But the problem is they had a quarterback that didn't let that bitch rip.
Yep. Because you could see in that one game where Pitts was wide open. Pitts went over to the sideline after the play was over with, looking at him like, bro, what you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And you could obviously see the frustration on his face. And this is the reason why I always mention and go back to when Ritter came in the game and was playing. A hurt Kyle Pitts showed up at the game because he understood that dude right there. I'm going to be able to work with him. Because regardless of who I got on me, he going to make sure I get the ball. And he's going to allow me to make the play.
I'm laughing at this comment, bro. You talk about it. Oh, Marcus did let it on.
I mean, it's crazy.
Hey.
It's crazy, man.
He was targeting God and still missed him.
All the way up.
When you go back and look at that film, man, those guys were getting open. Marcus didn't trust that he could throw that damn ball. It's simple as that. He didn't trust the windows he had to throw it in.
Mm-hmm. We got in a big argument there. Everybody thought I was crazy when I said that. I said he holding that ball too long. He not trusting what he sees. He's not confident in his throwing. Those guys getting open. Everybody kept saying it's the wide receiver's fault. I said it's not the wide receiver's fault. Those guys he's not letting it rip.
Do y'all know Marcus Mariota took 8 unnecessary sacks in just 5 of those games by holding the ball too long?
Holding the damn ball, not throwing the damn ball. I think fans got the perception that getting open means you butt naked wide open, like it's nobody around you. You can stand out there and you can have a picnic. You so wide open. That's not what getting open is.
That's not reality. I'm sorry.
That's not reality.
That's
do y'all realize with the height that Drake London and Kyle Pitts have, getting open means having 1 or 2 steps on your defender enough to get your hands up.
Right.
That's it.
When you got big guys like that, like you always think is why it's kind of hard to miss them. Like you said, just put it in a vicinity where they can catch the football.
Yeah.
Here's a comment here. He said, "I'm not trolling, but honestly, Desmond Ritter isn't the quarterback to make this offense explosive. He's just a game manager." Here we go.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion, and you're entitled to it.
Right.
That's your opinion, and you're entitled to it, but that don't make it a credible opinion.
Right.
Because this something we say on the Red Pit, ain't it? This something we say on the Red Pit.
Yep.
You can have your opinion. Nobody's telling you can't think what you think. Nobody's telling you you're wrong for what you're thinking. But what we will say is what you think could be some bullshit. Because you have to have some credible proof behind your opinion. Just because that's just like me saying, oh, I don't like my neighbor because when he walk outside every day, he got on the same damn robe. Okay, well, how you know he ain't got 3 or 4 of them damn robes in his closet?
What you looking for?
That ain't no credible. That ain't no credible. Like, what's your reason for saying? What's your proof in saying he's just a game manager? Where's your proof in that?
Blackberry. What he's saying in layman's terms is he don't like Ritter, and I'm gonna say it again. Thank you for letting us know
that you trying to start some shit, boy. You
always I ain't starting nothing.
Goddamn shit started.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and say it again. Those are what you call semantics, because what my brother just said, you have to have facts to back up that opinion. But since that right there doesn't have any facts to back up your opinion, it's I don't like Ritter on the Falcons. So can we get somebody else? And I'm going to keep saying it as long as y'all keep coming up in here with y'all opinions. Bring us some facts. Show us where we're wrong. We welcome it. But if you don't have no facts to back up your opinion, you just don't like Ritter. And I'm sorry, that's a bitter pill for some people in here to swallow, but hey, it is what it is. Keep telling y'all. Y'all show y'all bias every time. Every time.
And one gonna tell y'all every time. He don't give
Damn right. Thing. I'm gonna tell you every time. I don't got no problem with it. I'm gonna give you some facts to try to help out. You're basing it off of 4 games you're basing off of 4 games at the end of the season, 50-50. He lost 2, he won 2, with a team that has multiple players out, especially weapons that could have changed the game's whole platform. And he still was able to do what he was able to do. And we told y'all from day one, if you ask for Ritter to come in, know that you're going to have to be patient because he's going to make rookie mistakes. We told y'all that. Blackberry told you that. Mike told you that. K Styles told you that. Jew told you that. Ant told you that. We all said it. Yep. And y'all overlooked it because y'all didn't want Mariota on the field no more. When y'all got Ritter, what did we hear? He ain't ready. He ain't our QB. Why? Because of the simple fact he was not getting us to the playoffs. And I'll say it again. If he'd have got us to the playoffs, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Because y'all would have forgot about him playing 4 games. Y'all would have forgot that was the first 4 games he played as a rookie. Y'all would have cared about, he got us to the playoffs because it made you feel good.
But let me tell you why I like this comment, though. I'm going to tell you why I like it. Tell you why I like his comment. Because it's almost like he said it right out his mouth and then text and then put it in a message. Because you can read what he thinks. You can read. He says he doesn't make this offense explosive. So he telling you what he wants, what he want for the team. He want to be excited. He want the ball to be aired out. He want deep balls down the field. He want Cincinnati offense. That's what he want. He want the Cincinnati Bengals.
He got that. He got that, bro. He got that, bro. That's the crazy part. You saying that, bro? He got that.
Yeah.
What happened to this guy? It's this big yellow guy from California. Anybody know his name? He was the #1 draft pick for us last year. Anybody know that big yellow motherfucker?
Drake London.
Everybody know his name?
Yeah.
I think his name Drake London. So didn't he catch a few? Did he just really just break a rookie record? Didn't he just do that?
Yeah.
Then we just have a rookie? Didn't we have a rookie running back that just broke a franchise record? Didn't that happen? Yeah. So what more explosion? How much more explosive offense do you need?
You know what he want. He want Patrick Mahomes to Tyreek Hill. That's what he want.
Nah.
Well, see.
I'm gonna say what it is. He needs about 4. He needs 150 carries out of that quarterback position.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
But
But wait, Blackberry has a point. Blackberry has a point because if you look at it, who would be considered our Tyreek Hill? Kyle Pitts. He was hurt. So you don't know how he would have fared had Kyle Pitts never gotten hurt and Ritter was in the game. This is what I'm talking about. That's the unknown. You may have gotten those deep passes that you wanted for touchdowns. See, when y'all say y'all want explosiveness, we get it.
Confused.
We all want an explosive offense, but you're missing the point. He didn't have all of his pieces. He did not have all of his pieces. But threading the needle when Drake London's in coverage and making a immaculate catch, like, that's explosive. Why? Because it put the defense on notice. These guys can actually pass now. And they had to change up their defense. But like we said, it's a work in progress. You don't know what he's capable of fully because you haven't seen him play a whole season. You don't know what they're working on for this season coming up. So it's unfair to judge this man based on 4 games. And that's why I'm saying that it's more biased than it is informative, because you don't have a large window to base him on. If that's the case, this is why the media was parading Brock Purdy around like he was the second coming of Brady, only to find out he fills it out in the playoffs. Make it make sense, man.
I mean, what a proof at. You got to have sustainable proof that he's not quote unquote explosive or quote unquote a game manager.
Hey,
look, let me throw a number at y'all real quick. Everybody talk about explosive. Like, explosive is bullshit. I'm gonna just say that. If you ain't scoring points, it's bullshit. Okay? If you're not scoring points, it's bullshit. I can throw a 70-yard pass, but if all I get that damn drive is a 70-yard pass, it's some fucking bullshit. I just want let me say this again. Because it's probably won over some people's head. If you're not scoring points, being explosive is some fucking bullshit. Why I'm saying that? Because the Falcons were 15 in the league in scoring. So everybody can sit up here and talk about all this explosion and shit, but like, what we talking about? If you ain't scoring points, what the fuck we talking about?
You can run around the field all day.
It's like, what's the point of what's the point of running for 70 yards and you don't get in the damn end zone? You're kicking a fucking field goal.
Boy, that was an explosive field goal.
That was an explosive field goal. Come on, bro. Like everybody want to keep talking about all this pretty shit. Like, look, there ain't nothing more pretty than hitting it. You don't want to get around it. You don't want to get around it. You don't want to beat around the bush. You want to get in that thing. All right? That's the same thing we talk about in football. You don't want to get to the 20-yard line and kick a field goal. You want to go away there, okay? So, what make the 49ers offense a good offense? Because they score touchdowns.
Look. It's semantics. Just like we heard certain people say critical tackles. It's semantics. It's semantics, man. That's all it is.
Right. Like you said, when we to that, like you said, you talk about explosion. Like, didn't the Falcons already go through a period of time where we had an explosive offense, and that's all the fuck we had?
Okay, stop. Let me read some numbers for y'all. Let me read some numbers for you, because everybody think the Falcons' offense was pretty bad. Let me read you some numbers for this offensive rankings. Okay,
Talk to him, Mike.
I want to give you some rushing yards, 3, rushing touchdowns, 10, red zone touchdowns, 12, overall touchdowns, 18. So where in the hell does it fit that narrative that is just game managing? They top 10 in damn near a lot of offensive categories, top 15 in most of those offensive categories that matter. So what are we talking about? Mm-hmm. So it comes down to what Warren was saying and what K-Star was saying, semantics, and you just don't fucking like it. This is what it all comes down to. Because you don't have no proof, like Blackberry said. You can't look. Your opinion is your opinion what you are entitled to. But if you can't come with facts behind those opinions, it's just fucking stupid.
So the question is, what would make Lamar Jackson, Anthony Richardson? How would they make this offense more explosive?
Can I answer that?
I want to hear the answer from Mr. Chucky.
Okay. When he get done, when he get done, let me know, because I know the answer.
I haven't seen one of his comments in quite some time, so I guess he's probably doing some homework.
I think he disappeared.
He probably go heading back to work.
That is it. Well, if I'm able to say it, it's called explosive running around. That's what that is. Explosive track play on the field.
That explosive circus.
Yeah. Look at me, Ma. I can run the 500-yard dash sideways. That's exactly what y'all talk about when y'all say explosive. Explosively running around like a chicken with your head cut off on the 50-yard line.
Hey, if you want to see some explosive runs, what you want the Kyler Murray experience too?
Setting sail on an ice cube in the middle of some iced tea.
Yeah. So that's what I said.
Everybody keeps saying this. This is what we. Oh my God, bro! Like, why everybody keeps saying want to have relevance? I don't give a shit. Nobody cares. At the end of the day, it takes time.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: do you want relevance for 1 year?
It takes time, bro.
Do you want relevance for 1 year or relevance for 5+ years?
I'll take that 5+.
That's what we talking about.
Yeah. What did I say? We want to be entertained losers instead of uncomfortable winners. Because, like I said, nobody pays attention to the development of a quarterback or any player until they win something. And when the media says, oh, they won this, now they've arrived, then y'all say, okay, yeah, that's what we want right there. Up until that point, nobody talks about how they got there. Nobody talks about how they had to lose games and fuck up plays and look like dummies on the field before they get there. Nobody care about that. Like I said, y'all didn't know Brady until he won that first Super Bowl.
See, here's the problem. The problem, like you said, the problem is, and Blackberry says this all the time, it's a microwave society. You want the insta done shit. You don't want to be in the kitchen, man. You don't want to be in the kitchen, man. You don't want to be cooking in the stove. You want to cook in the microwave. Like I said, when we talk about guys like Patrick Mahomes, when we talk about Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, when you talk about Joe Burrow, or a lot of these young quarterbacks didn't just come straight out the gate, the Hall of Famers.
Nope.
Hell, Mike's favorite quarterback of all time, Peyton Manning, came out the gate looking like complete ass.
Straight ass.
Yeah.
I mean,
go check. Go check the tape in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
But
y'all want. Go ahead, K-Style.
But what happens is when you have a franchise who has the confidence in the player like they have or a quarterback they have, like you said, you're not going to really find out what a quarterback's potential is until year 3 anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
What
said,
y'all
Too many cases.
what y'all want? Y'all want players like ramen noodles instead of hot water cornbread.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's quick, but don't always taste good.
Right. No team in the playoffs right now was relevant 5 years ago. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And think about this. K Styles mentioned the 3rd year. Who's to say by year 3? Now we working on year 3 now. Who's to say by the beginning of this season that Ritter doesn't have an opportunity to really blossom the way we would like him to with everything around him? Because we
Well,
spoke
5
on the
years
show
ago.
yesterday about the defense being able to put the offense in good positions to make plays. You gotta think about that. If we got a formidable defense that's able to put us at field's length to where we really don't have to go that far,
Mm-hmm.
or if we get a team around him that allows him to blossom the way we would like him to, that man is going to be a dangerous quarterback in the NFL. And
Bro,
I promise
this comment right here.
The Golden
This
State
comment is everything
Warriors
right
is
here.
a
This
prime
comment-
example of developing your own players. Golden State still winning championships.
that part, Ju.
Yep.
Y'all put fire in the
They
They
chat for
doing
Ju.
that development.
Put fire in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
This straight heat right here.
right.
Straight
Mhm.
heat.
Doing it their way.
It-
They doing it their way, and they still doing it their way 5,
Right.
6 years later.
Mm-hmm. Developing
Just saying,
their
bro.
own talent.
Mm-hmm.
Look how Curry flourishes in that organization. And they was making a comparison talking about old players, how they view Curry back in the day. And it was some of the guys talking about how would Curry fare well in the old 90s league and stuff like that. And they said, shoot, remember when Curry started out, he had a bunch of ankle problems. They was like, yeah. They was like, we wouldn't let Curry get that many shots off. We would bust his ass every time we get a chance. He said we would target his ankles on purpose. That organization, that team around him allows him to do what he does best.
Mm-hmm.
Never
That's what
mind the changes
Draymond
to the
Green
league. Right.
That's what he
Draymond is the
do.
enforcer. He's the bad guy.
That's it.
So if
You're not gonna mess
if you
with my boy.
compare that with the Falcons, you put enough people around Ritter to let Ritter do what he can do best, and have that winning streak like he did when we was playing college, he's going to be a threat. And everything y'all complaining about, y'all gonna be praising him for.
And Ju uses a good example, but I like when it comes to football, I like using football teams as an example because basketball doesn't wear on players the way football does. Because in football, it's you ain't got the longevity that these guys in playing basketball got. So I like using examples for formula for teams like the New England Patriots, for teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. I like to use those teams for example because outside of they still use this formula, the Steelers. They didn't really pay anybody big besides Ben Roethlisberger. Everybody else, they pretty much told them, you want a big check? You want to force your way out of here? Goodbye. Because we are great at finding people to replace you and pay them less money and still be relevant. So for those of y'all that like relevancy, and still be relevant come time for playoff talk. Now, this is the formula. develop players that you went and scouted, you went and recruited, you drafted, develop those players, be very good at it, win, be on the winning side of a record, because it's in football, yeah, you want championships, but it's a lot harder than it is in basketball. It's a lot harder. So just be consistent in winning and keep putting yourself in that position year after year after year with managing a salary cap and finding your own players to develop. And then when it's time to when it's time for them to go get paid, you got one or two you might pay, and the rest of them you gonna let them fly.
Yep.
It's about development. It's about development, people.
Blackberry, you gave them a gym. You gave them a gym, and they didn't even hear it. And I'm gonna back it up with some facts. Ryan Nielsen said this in his interview. He said,
"They got the ears plugged with Gorilla Glue."
oh yeah. Ryan Nielsen said this in the interview when the guy asked him. He said, "We don't care where we get the players from, free agency, with the team, the draft, whatever." He said, "Once we get the players here, they're ours, and it's our responsibility to coach them and develop them to play our game, our way, to get the best out of our players. Doesn't matter what team you came from. Doesn't matter what coach you had or what, they want to bring players here to develop them to play our style of football."
It's just about making a choice, man. At the end of the day, it's making a choice of what your identity is, and that's essentially what you was talking about, and that's essentially what Blackberry is talking about. To really just dumb it down. Like, if you're going to make a decision on building a team, you say, "All right, I want to build a team." Arthur Smith said, "All right, I want a team." And then the guy gonna say, "All right, so where do you want it?" You gonna say, "Well, I want it in Atlanta." That thing you gonna say, "All right, who you gonna have running it?" "Well, I want Rich McKay running it." "All right, what's with Rich McKay? What he gonna do? Are you gonna have a 3-4, 4-3? Well, you got to make that decision to have a 3-4 or 4-3. All right, if he gonna run the pass, if there's gonna be a passing offense, it's gonna be a running offense. These are the things you got to look at when we talk about building a team. You got to make a decision on what the team is going to look like. You can't have a team if you don't know what the fuck you want from it. Everybody say, "All right, I want all the best players." Well, you got to understand, it's like, if you don't have players that get along, you got a bunch of Antonio Browns on the same team, and they all got they some great players, but all of them Antonio Browns,
That
and
ain't
all
gonna work.
of them, and they killers like goddamn what's that dude from New England who killed all the people? Yeah, like, you have all them types of people on one team. They still Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez.
You got a team full of killers and lunatics. Like, that's not gonna work. So you got to think. Like, you have to really get down to the nitty gritty. I'm talking about the nitty gritty of what the dynamics, how you're going to represent the team, the types of people that you want, the message that you want to portray, like all of this. This is why the Steelers are the Steelers. They're only going to have tough, hard-nosed motherfuckers who going to play some solid defense, and our coach is going to be representative of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be tough. It's going to get in your ass, and the players, they going to get in your ass. And if they
he going to be
don't
smart.
have no software. Anytime you start that software, you got to be smart. You got to be smart. You got to be smart. You got to understand the ins and outs of football. So you got to get all the way down. So a lot of people be saying, "All right, I just want to go get a quarterback. I want Anthony Richardson." What if Anthony Richardson is just soft?
Anthony Richardson is one of the he's one of the biggest boom or bust prospects out of the quarterback position in this draft.
Mm-hmm. So I'm still
trying to figure out what the fuck they see in Will Levis because he looked like ass to me. But I'm just saying.
I looked at him last night. The thing that I saw in Will Levis is I saw a big ass white boy that looked like a Carson Wentz statue. That's all I saw. That's literally what I saw. A big ass white boy with Carson Wentz skills. In short, it ain't nothing special about him. It ain't a damn thing special about him.
That was is straight up garbage.
Garbage juice.
Nothing.
Jew just hit a gem right here. You got to have a vision. Without a vision, you will fail.
Thanks.
Vision and foundation.
You said it. We don't need to say nothing else.
Well.
And K Styles.
Yep.
K Styles.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
With that comment you made, I think you should follow it up with the vision that the Arthur Smith and the Terry Fontenot have for the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, Belvedere, we definitely appreciate you bringing me into this. Where the Atlanta Falcons' vision is, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be entertaining. We're not going to be shooting 3 balls all game. We're going to pick and roll, hit bank shots out the low key. We're going to set screens.
Yes.
I'm using basketball analogies for the folks that may not be paying attention.
Yes.
We set screens. We gonna do some off-ball cuts. Essentially, what the identity of what
we ain't gonna be dunking on people like John Morant. We ain't gonna be doing that.
Speaking of that motherfucker. Oh my God.
I had to do it to you. Yeah, I knew that was gonna get you.
You had to start off. But
they're called an alley.
I do it to you.
Y'all don't want layups and mid-range jump shots. You want dunks and 3-pointers. But what Arthur Smith is trying to lay down a foundation here is they're going to essentially let the run game be the star of the offense.
Aha!
Light bulb. Which what I said before too, which makes the Falcons a more cost-efficient offense.
Light bulb.
K Styles.
Yes.
K Styles. So you mean to tell me that, in essence, we're going to runneth the damn ball?
Indubitably.
Esquire.
Yes, Esquire. Indubitably. And then what we're going to do whilst we say run the damn ball, we're going to drop back, play action, and throw that sumbitch deep. Cheerio. Marvelous.
Absolutely marvelous.
Well said, my good man.
Cheerio.
Carry on.
So while we runneth the damn ball, essentially, oh God, Brian, people talking about message.
One of my favorite movies in the world, but
Bruh, who is you telling?
Hey man.
Right. So, like I said, and while we're paying attention to Desmond Ridder and we're seeing it's not really, like I said, it doesn't excite people, like you said, because
with Desmond Ritter, you notice what Arthur Smith didn't call a lot of read option run plays for. Right. We need to put that on a t-shirt.
Hey,
Run it.
hey, look, at the end of it, at the end of it, you had somebody holding a teacup with the pinky sticking out.
Hold on.
Thank you, SpongeBob. Thank you.
We get my tea and crumpets.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Like I said, if you pay and we're gonna end this conversation with, like I said, if you pay attention to Ritter, like I said, they doesn't ask him to run the ball that much. This is the biggest difference between why people think he's a quote unquote high-end backup compared to a star, because he's not running the ball 15 times a game.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you notice what a lot of people say, when they talk about, they don't talk about the ability to throw the football. When they're talking about guys that fit the offense, it's always a certain prototype, and the prototype is always the quarterback that runs 10, 15, 20 times a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, that's your bag, baby. That's what you want. Like I said, that's fine. But the thing about it is they haven't pulled the trigger yet. So if the issue is the quarterback ain't,
gotta see what they're doing, man.
If the quarterback is not running the ball 15, 20 times a game and it makes you upset, my advice to you is go to Amazon shopping. No, I take that back. Take your ass to LukeyGames.com. Get you a PlayStation 2. Go get Madden 04.
How dare you?
Vintage.
You can do all the running around with the quarterback as you want.
They might have a PS5 version. They might have
Right.
PS5.
And he said these quarterbacks I named are the perfect prototypes, but Ryan Tannehill has been the most successful in the offense. Does he fit that prototype?
Who the hell? Whoa.
Get
Whoa. We're gonna end it. We're gonna end it. But this who? How the hell are they gonna be a prototype on the offense they ain't never played in? The fuck are you talking about?
Oh Lord.
The most
They don't even play this offense. They don't even play the offense in there. Anthony Richardson played in on a pass first offense. He don't even
help this child.
Y'all go do y'all homework before you have an opinion, please.
Please.
Go do your homework before you have an opinion.
He's not that type of quarterback.
Let me point something out there, K Styles.
Go ahead.
Just informed y'all with. He just told y'all, chat. He just told y'all that they did not run RPO as much with Ritter as they did with Marcus.
Sure
and see, I know in some of y'all heads that means that they don't trust him to run the offense the way they was letting Marcus run the offense. What that tells you is they trust him to be more of a quarterback than a runner.
Say that again.
And they trust him to be more of a quarterback than Marcus was, than a runner. And why does he get that trust?
Let me interrupt you.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. I got to interrupt you. I'm about to ask you a question. I'm about to ask you a question. By any chance, do you know what the RPO stands for?
Run, pass option.
Oh, you tell me the pass ain't first, right? See, the pass isn't first, right? It's not the pass run option. It's the run pass option.
That is correct. That is correct, my good sir. It is
correct,
not
sir.
the pass rush option. It is the run pass option.
Absolutely.
Indubitably.
Runneth that damn ball. Pass the ball second.
Right back into it, my fella.
And the option is indubitably. So
Run it.
a choice to make.
It's called the run it, pass it, optionist.
See,
Yes.
he be trying to troll. Indubitably tried to troll us. So
Yes. Yes.
Hey.
Haberdashery. Straight haberdashery.
I don't think people actually know what the RP is.
You want to get on here?
Oh, you want to get on? You can come on. Come on. We got 15 minutes. If you want to come on and him on.
We got
15 minutes to say what you gotta say.
We got the Chuckster coming in.
Yeah, Chuck. Yeah, Chuckster. If you want to come in, go ahead. This is it. We got 15 minutes, y'all.
We gonna have the tea and crumpets. Tea and crumpets.
Let us hear this quagmire of a statement.
Quagmire.
This motherfucker said quagmire. Oh my god, how crazy. Oh, wait a minute. Man.
K-Styles, I wish you had the crap.
Which one?
Somebody to make me feel it good.
Oh my god. Y'all asses ain't shit.
We're gonna run
Y'all
this to the ground.
Y'all asses ain't shit. I'm telling you right now.
Y'all gonna hate us for this.
Hold on. Wait a goddamn minute.
Oh, goddamn it. All you gonna do is click the dang on link.
Come on, Cletus.
I'm not feeling it good.
What would you like me to do for you, Harley? Make me feel good.
With the Bridgerton.
Feel good.
Oh my god.
Sire, he's not making me feel it good.
Off with his head, then.
What's that? Off with his head.
Come on, Chuck.
Hold on. Let me see. Here you go.
Oh, everybody heard you.
Now, how in the hell you got that queued up already?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Chuck,
Yeah,
what's going on?
Man.
Hey, how y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? I love y'all show, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
Now, well, go ahead. What's on your mind, man?
Hey, look, man, I totally agree with y'all as far as like building a team, but the only thing is, how do y'all think Desmond Ridder is the guy? That's it, man. He looked just okay. I'm not saying he bad. I don't know what he gonna be, but
You just
Lamar
said the key that you just
Lamar Jackson, Trey Lance, Anthony Richardson, they all got more potential. That's all I'm saying.
But
I don't think Desmond Ridder is bad, but I think he gonna be okay.
But you just said the key thing at the beginning. You said you don't know.
That's true.
Am I correct? Like I said,
yeah.
you don't know. Like I said, this is why we were saying, like, okay, so if we're judging it on the 4 games, his number 2 target wasn't even in the game. How many games did he play with Kyle Pitts, if you mind me asking?
I got a question.
That's a donut.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
Sure.
Did you have by any chance? Do you know who's one of the top quarterbacks to ever play the game statistically in college history?
Talking about Desmond Ridder? Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to ask you another question. So, if he's that and he hasn't shown anything, what have those other guys had that shows you that they have potential? Because
outside
when you
of
look
running
at,
the football.
okay, because when you look at when you look at your boy Trey Lance, how many games that he has in his college career under his belt?
Well, I mean, I could be wrong, but when you're drafting a QB or when you putting a QB in your system, you're going strictly off like character traits and potential. You're not really going off necessarily what they did. I mean, I guess you are going off what they did in college, but the NFL game is a whole nother level. Everybody it's the best of the best. So the wins don't necessarily translate. But I could be wrong. What do I know? You know.
So I got a question then. If that's the thought process behind that, then how is Anthony Richardson has more promise than Desmond Ridder when Desmond Ridder has already started 4 games and Anthony Richardson has yet to start an NFL game?
Well, I think, and once again, I could be wrong, but I think Arthur Smith wants to, like y'all said, run the ball, play action. But when he throw the ball, he want to go deep. And I think with the arm Anthony Richardson got, or Lamar or Trey Lance, they'll be better throwing the ball down the field. And then with Kyle Pitts and Drake London, we already got big targets.
Hey Chuck, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you saying, so if I'm hearing correctly, Ritter's potential, in your opinion, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I'm asking, is Ritter's potential, in your opinion, predicated on him being able to throw the deep ball, or is it all of his aspects completely, to include reading the defense, to include being able to escape the pocket if necessary, to include being able to make throws across the middle or thread the needle as he's shown? Is in your opinion, is it based on more so he should be able to throw the ball deep consistently in every game, or is it the intangibles that make up him as a quarterback?
No, I think he has all the intangibles. He can read defenses. He can throw over the middle of the field. But I think Arthur Smith wants a quarterback that can do the RPO, and I think he want to throw the ball deep. And I think Lamar, Anthony Richardson, maybe even Trey Lance, depending on his ankle, they'll be able to do those things better than Desmond Ridder. That's all I'm saying. If he improved his deep ball and he improved the RPO game, run with him. I'm not against you. I just don't think. I don't think he.
Hold on.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. You said Arthur Smith wants to run RPO, right?
Yeah, like he did with Mariota.
Did he do that with Ryan Tannehill?
Yeah. He didn't do it a lot because he's not as mobile as the guys that I'm naming.
You see what the issue.
But don't you think if he had those guys, he would do it?
Oh, let me listen to what you said. You said you think he wants to run the RPO. So if he's running the RPO, don't you think he's adjusting his skill sets according to the quarterback skill set?
Yes.
Not so much what he wants to do.
But if he gets a quarterback that can do all those things, I'm sure he would do it. Like I'm saying, like Lamar, Trey Lance, and Anthony Richardson, they can throw, but the extra threat of them running just makes it a different level. And I think Ritter, he might be able to do that because he ran a 4.5. He fast, but we haven't seen that part yet, and we haven't seen a good deep ball. He made a couple shots, but I don't know if he can consistently, or maybe y'all do. Maybe y'all know more than me. I don't think he can consistently throw the ball deep. That's what I'm worried about.
Let me ask you a question. Now, you say you don't think he can consistently throw the ball deep, and this is a two-part question. Number one, do you think, in your opinion, Ritter can be developed to have that ability of a threat? And number two, wouldn't it make sense to have a defense to back him up to put the Falcons in a good position so that he doesn't always have to rely on the deep ball?
Yes, we definitely need a defense. I'm with y'all as far as building the team. And I'm kind of again, I want Lamar, but it will cost too much to get him. I get that. That's why I'm more like Trey Lance or Anthony Ritter.
Hold on, Mike. Hold on, Mike.
What I'm fucking up at?
Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Let me ask. Can I, Chuck?
Yeah, go ahead. So you want a quarterback that can run for how many yards? You want 1,000 yard? I don't know. Hell no. I don't think it's not a stat thing. Like I think Arthur Smith wants the threat of a quarterback that can run.
Okay, now
if you asking him what's his prototypical QB, it'll be like a Lamar. Somebody, because if you look at the games this year, Mad Mike was right. We had a bunch of plays where the wide receivers was wide open, but Mariota couldn't hit them.
Okay.
Lamar or Anthony Richardson. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Stay right there, Chuck. Stay right there. Now, see, you just went from a running aspect right into a passing aspect. You see what you did there? Now, you just did that. You went from running, a quarterback running, to him being able to pass. Okay, you said his prototypical quarterback, in your opinion, this is what you think, in your opinion, would be that of a Lamar Jackson, because he can run crazy, and you feel like he can throw it better than Marcus Mariota did. Now, we've given you all these numbers 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, maybe even 5 times before. His numbers were damn near identical to Marcus Mariota's. Lamar Jackson, that's who we're talking about here. Were damn near identical to Marcus Mariota's. Now, that's point number 1. Point number 2. You said we haven't seen Desmond Ridder be able to run the ball. That is not true. We saw him scramble, evade pressure, and run for first downs plenty of times in those 4 games. We saw that. We saw him do that. What we did not see was them design plays for him to run the ball. Because why? Because we got 1,000-yard rusher rushing the ball in Tyler Algier in a nasty run blocking offensive line. And we had a dynamic Swiss Army knife in Cordell Patterson. So we did not see the design runs for Desmond Ridder because he is capable of throwing the ball. So all that pistol that y'all was seeing with Marcus, we didn't see that with Desmond. We didn't see it. We saw it maybe once or twice in a game. But majority of the game, you saw him in a single backfield, shotgun, throw the ball, or hand the ball off. Simply, it wasn't no whole lot of run design. So you gotta go. You gotta listen. Y'all opinion is fine, but go and get your facts. Go and get your facts.
I think you misconstruing what I'm saying, OG. I think you misconstruing what I'm saying. I'm not saying he want to run the ball like Justin Fields. I don't think he want a quarterback that can do that. I think he wants a quarterback that can do everything. And the guys I named can do that. That's all I'm saying.
But my question to you was, do you think that Ritter can develop into that the longer he stays on the team, in your
I
opinion?
think he could develop the deep ball, but I don't know if he could run the ball like those guys.
Now, another question. If you have a person who can throw the ball, who can read the defenses and everything of that nature, why would he need to run around in that capacity? Wouldn't that
If you
kind of negate it?
no,
Because,
no,
like, no,
no, the threat of a QB being as mobile as an Anthony Richardson or Cam Newton or Lamar Jackson, it just adds another dynamic. You're now totally unpredictable on any given play.
okay.
If you got a Tom Brady or a Matt Ryan back there, when they drop back, or you know what I'm saying, like you know what they're gonna do. But if you got a Lamar back there, you don't know what's coming.
But you know what? I
Y'all must
agree,
didn't
but
hear me when I was just talking or something, because I could have swore I just explained this.
I agree, but I disagree, because if you pay attention to those quarterbacks, i.e. Lamar Jackson's first instinct really isn't to throw the ball, it's to run. Same thing with Marcus Mariota. And a quarterback's actual attributes come off of learning to throw the ball first and then run. Because if you run the ball first, you're just a glorified running back with a throwing arm.
Okay,
This is
now
what we
I'm
talk
not
about.
I'm not trying to argue for the sake of arguing, but can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Lamar didn't have the weapons we had here. If he's throwing to Drake London and Kyle Pitts, that's a little different than
well, if that's the case,
Marquise Brown.
no. If that's the case, if that's the case, then you could say that for people like Kyler Murray. You could say that for anybody in the NFL that, likes to run first. It's not so much about the weapons that you have. It's your inclination. Because first off, your offensive line dictates whether or not you're going to be the type of player that has to run first or throw. A lot of times, if you look at it, most guys that are throwing, that go through their progressions, a lot of them step up in the pocket, and their running is just, the scrambling ability is just for them to get out in case of up the gut pressure. If you look at most of those games, if your O-line doesn't hold up, you have to run. And a lot of those quarterbacks that have to run, the O-line ain't protecting them.
And
Go ahead,
I was saying that to I was in one of Mad Mike's lives maybe like a week ago, and I was saying Lamar only 25. Like, it's a good possibility we ain't even seen the best version of him.
Yes,
but here's the
thing.
Hold
on. Let me ask you this question. Stop, Kels. Let me ask this question, because he said something that can't be glossed over real quick. It can't be glossed over. You said Lamar doesn't have the weapons the Falcons have.
Mm-hmm.
Or are building.
What is your definition?
Because I think they're going to get more weapons this year too.
Hold on. You said, but it's not getting to. It's what they have now. Lamar has those weapons now. We don't have those weapons now. So it's not any getting to. Right now, when you look at the Ravens offense and the Falcons offense, offensive line, wide receivers, tight ends included, the coach included, you don't think the Baltimore Ravens have a better offense than the Atlanta Falcons?
Offense? No. It's probably on par. I mean, Kyle Pitts and Mark Andrews equal out, but they don't have a wide receiver as good as Drake London. I don't.
But they had Hollywood Brown. You ever heard?
They had Hollywood Brown.
He ain't as good as Drake London. He a speed receiver.
And Duvernay ain't no scrub. He ain't no scrub.
Ain't Drake London. He ain't Drake London.
But we've named multiple guys. You've only named one.
I named two. Kyle Pitts and Drake London.
Let me ask you this. Okay, you said they don't have Drake London, right? So let me ask you this. If Baltimore had a wide receiver like Drake London, okay, and their O-line was still suspect, do you think Lamar Jackson, because he has Drake London, do you think he's going to step up in the pocket and throw the ball, or do you think his first inclination is going to be to run, then throw?
I honestly do think he wants to throw. I think he can run. Obviously, we know that, but I think he wants to throw the ball. He said that multiple times. That's why they just fired their offensive coordinator because he couldn't really develop the passing game.
Do you think with him, what do you think his first inclination is going to be? Do you think he's going to step up in the pocket and throw to him, or do you think he's going to run, then throw?
If he has Kyle Pitts and Drake London, I think he's going to throw more.
He had Mark Andrews.
And he threw to him.
He had Duvernay.
Man, that's not Drake London. I mean, I'm not trying to be argumentative. I love y'all so, but
yeah, I get it, man. And one, I appreciate you being a therapist and all that.
Drake London is a beast, dog. And we didn't even see the best version of him because
Drake London ain't made a Pro Bowl.
See, but
Drake London ain't made a Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowls. My bad. See, but here's the thing, though. Like you said, you said we haven't seen the best. Like I said, we haven't seen what the prospects of what can possibly happen with Ritter. Now, like I said, you judge it off the 4 games. I mean, like I said, if that's how you feel, I mean, that's how you feel. But
yeah, and once again, I'm not saying he's bad. I just don't think he's going to develop to anything more than
based off of
I think at his peak he could probably be a top 15 quarterback, but he ain't gonna be no top 5 quarterback. Y'all
hold on. Time out. Now see, I let y'all keep this couple steady, okay? But I'm sorry. So you saying Desmond Ridder can be a top 15 quarterback? You think he can become a top 15 quarterback? That's what you say?
I think at his peak he can get to like Jimmy Garoppolo. He can get around there.
How many teams are there in the NFL? But he ain't
32 teams. It's 32 teams.
I'm done, bro. Chuck, hey man, I tried, bro. I appreciate you. Look, I appreciate you coming on stage. It's brave, man. It take guts. It take guts, man, to come on here and talk, man. We appreciate you.
Before you leave, like I said, and the reason why we asking you these questions is because the main thing is you haven't described what will be the biggest.
I've said it multiple times.
Because the thing is, you said Desmond Ridder doesn't run the RPO. This is literally
and throw the deep ball.
This is literally the same offense he played in college. I know. I know.
Can I say it one more time?
But I'm gonna say, and this is just me listening to you. The problem is when you just said he could be a mid-tier quarterback like Garoppolo, right?
Yeah.
How many playoff games has Garoppolo played in?
A lot. He's played in a good amount. He almost won a Super Bowl. I give y'all that. All I'm saying is if you could get a better option, especially like Anthony Richardson, he'll be on his rookie contract too. If you could get a better option or a potentially better option, because like y'all said, we only seen 4 games. So y'all know just as much about him as I do. If you think you could get a better option with more potential, why would you not explore it? That's all I'm saying.
But then
we also know he was better in college. We know that he was better in college.
But here's the thing though.
He was better than Josh Allen in college too. But look at what he turned into.
And do you remember Josh Allen almost getting traded from Buffalo after year 2?
Yeah.
Do you remember Jalen Hurts almost getting traded after year 2?
Yes.
Do you remember Patrick Mahomes only playing 1 game his rookie year?
Yes.
You remember Joe Burrow getting hurt after 5 games and literally missing most of the preseason?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not saying he can't be good.
But the reason why I'm saying this is if you're talking about a better option, if you haven't, like I said, I could understand if you've seen a whole season of Desmond Ritter, then you can make that assessment. But the issue is you haven't really seen what he can do with a full season. We haven't seen him with a Kyle Pitts. You've only seen him with Drake London.
That's true. That's true. Okay, but can I ask you another question? Like, how much time do y'all think Arthur Smith is gonna give? I mean, how much time do y'all think Arthur Blank is gonna give Arthur Smith? We're going into year 3 with him, and let's say Desmond Ritter is just okay. Let's say Desmond Ritter is just okay this year, and we go 7-9 again, 7-10 again.
So what if he's okay and they go 10-7?
Well, then that's great. Yeah, we good. That's the hope. But
Chuck, I like to use people's own logic against them. So if you're saying that theoretically you don't think Arthur Smith got a lot of time with Arthur Blank, so you want him to go start fresh all over again with another rookie quarterback,
or Lamar. If you can get Lamar, get Lamar.
But the leash is short. The leash is short now too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this isn't Arthur Smith's first year. This year 3, like it's.
But you do realize one thing: man. if we go get another quarterback per your estimation, that puts Arthur Smith on an even bigger clock because of the simple fact: number one, he has to fit the scheme. Number two, you got the learning curve. So basically, you're putting the Falcons back another 3-4 years, hoping that this quarterback that you say could be better than Ritter turns out to be better than Ritter. Because you got to understand, even with another quarterback, you still have that learning curve. You still don't know if he's going to be potentially good or not. So you're in the same boat. Just because it's not
with Lamar,
just because it's different from Ritter does not make him an automatic superstar. You got to understand.
You know Lamar would be better. You know Lamar would be better.
Hold on.
How?
Everybody stop.
Go ahead, Mike.
How?
Hold on. Stop it. I mean, look. Let's just stop beating around the bush. You don't give a fuck about what nobody else is. You just want to see Lamar to see what he can do.
No.
Falcons, right?
No. I want to win. That's it. I don't give a fuck who it is. I want to win.
Bro, you just realized you just said the same 3 tropes we hear all the goddamn time is.
Y'all ain't tired of losing seasons?
All the time.
Damn.
7-10 ain't losing, bro.
7-10.
We were slated to go 2-15.
I'm finna tell you something. To be honest with you.
Here we go.
Yes, we're tired of losing seasons just like everybody else. But the issue that's coming down to is, and from where I'm coming from what I'm thinking, where you coming from, it's not about the arm. It's not about the arm talent. It's not about the RPO. It's about the bigger. It's about the box office.
No, I'm not. I promise you,
it's the box office. Because the issue that we're saying here, and this is where we're getting a lot of flack from, is if you're looking at from an offensive perspective, especially from what we have now compared to what you're potentially going off. See, you're saying Trey Lance. We don't know what Trey Lance is. Trey Lance coming off an ankle injury. You got Lamar Jackson has missed at least 5 games the last 2. He'd have missed at least 10 games the last 2 years. You got Anthony Richardson, who tore his ankle up his final year at college. Now,
got legs like Robert Griffin III.
Now, all the quarterbacks that you're naming are really quarterbacks that run the ball at least 10 to 15 times a game. Like I said, you try not to say that you're trying to say that it's not about running the football, but this is what their skill sets are. They run the ball 10, 15 times a game. The problem is the reason when you're talking about running the ball with Ritter, see, Ritter is not running the ball 10, 15 times a game. That's why you're questioning if he can run the football, if he can run the RPO. Just
Right.
because he doesn't run the football that much does not mean he doesn't have to run. Like I said, and I'm gonna use just an example here. I'm just gonna use an example here. I'm gonna use Russell Wilson as an example. When he started off in this league, he was running the ball around a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
He started getting nicked up real easily.
Sure did.
He had to stop running. He had to stop running the ball as much. Kyler Murray missed at least 12 games the last 2 years. Like I said, Josh Allen starting to pick these damn injuries up. Like I said, Joe Burrow can run the football, but he chooses not to. Like I said, where you're coming from is where this disconnect is. It's because, like I said, the arm talent, Ritter, Lamar, I said Richardson may have a stronger arm out of all of them, but all of them got strong arms. The problem that I'm feeling like you have with it is because we don't see Desmond Ridder running the ball 10, 15 times a game. That's the only thing that's really what it's coming down to.
Because saying he can't throw the deep ball is false. He's very good at throwing the deep ball.
Now, if you're talking about deep ball accuracy, yes, that can be worked on. You didn't say deep ball accuracy. You just said the deep ball, period.
Well, my bad. I must have misspoke, but that's what I'm talking about. Deep ball accuracy. Right.
But the thing is, Lamar's deep ball accuracy ain't that much better. It's been proven.
It's better than Ritter. It's better than Ritter.
Based on what?
Not.
What?
Oh, it's not.
What has that done in the playoffs? I mean, I'm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, my
Oh,
thing
stop.
my
Wait,
thing.
wait.
Oh, okay. Go. All right.
Yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. Y'all really don't think Ritter is? So y'all putting Ritter up there with Lamar already?
No, we're not.
Hold on. Stop.
It's not about that.
Well, okay. Well, can I just ask this one? Don't y'all think the offense is automatically better with Lamar as opposed to Ritter?
It's done.
No.
Oh, okay.
If both offense are running the ball at similar clips, you have to think about it like this. The Atlanta Falcons was number 3 in rushing. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Baltimore Ravens was number 2 in rushing.
That is also correct.
Right.
So what's really the biggest difference? The biggest difference is outside of Mariota running the ball, they're using purely running backs to run the football. So is it really a necessity to really have the quarterback run the ball 15, 20 times a game?
Is it a necessity? No. But doesn't it make our offense explosive? Extremely explosive.
Because if that's the case, Tyler Algier having this 1,000-yard season wouldn't have really mattered. Because then it would have been up to the quarterback to make them numbers. If that's what you're going with.
You don't want your quarterback running for 1,000 yards.
No, you don't.
But if he has the threat of on any play taking it 80 yards, why would you not want that?
80 yards.
Because you have a running back that's capable of being unstoppable. You don't have to run your quarterback.
Chuck, can I just
Tyler
say you
Algier is
done
not
contradicted yourself so many times, man.
Hey, I think y'all nitpicking, man, but I love the show, man.
You see what you doing right there? Now you doing it. You doing it.
Here we go.
Okay, what am I doing? I'm sorry, my bad.
Wait. Like I said, we're having the conversation. We're having a conversation, and then like I said,
yeah, you're right.
You're trying to put words in our mouths, talking about okay, we trying to put Ritter in the Lamar category. We didn't say that. The issue that we're coming down to, and what we're saying is, you don't know. Like I said, you could bring in Lamar Jackson, and it could actually get worse. You don't know.
How is that possible?
Because they
how do you know that it would?
See, let me ask you something.
Oh Lord! Oh my
What?
The motherfucker ain't even playing for his team. That's how it can get worse. He ain't even playing now.
Let me ask you something. Outside
That's how
of
it
him
can
running
get
ability.
worse.
No, let me ask you something. Outside of his running ability, what is the biggest like what is the most glaring thing that you can think of? Outside of the running ability, because this is the same issue we have when we have the Justin Fields talk, is a lot of where a lot of people bring these guys up at is they always lead with the running game first. You came here and literally said that I don't know if Desmond Ritter is that guy because he doesn't bring that threat of the run. That's
Okay.
been your talking point. That's been your
True.
main
That's
talking
true.
point.
But can I counter that? Can I counter your statement with Arthur Smith wants to mainly run the ball?
And he does that.
And he does that with the running backs.
True. But if he has a quarterback who's better at it than Ritter, wouldn't that make the offense that much better?
Oh
No,
man.
no, it wouldn't. Because I can prove it to you. Because
Okay.
when we went up against Cincinnati,
Okay.
our run game, you're going to run into a team that you can't run on all the time. And we started having problems when we could not throw the ball.
That's
because
true.
what
We
would
need to be able
happen
to do
is
both. We need to be able to do both.
no, that ain't what you said. You said, wouldn't the running quarterback make it better? And I said, no, because at some point he's going to have to throw.
I
That's
agree.
the problem we had with Mariota.
I said it in the chat
instances-
room. The top offenses need to be able to do
hear me
both
out.
nowadays.
In instances where we needed to throw the ball, when we got behind, because I'm going to tell you like this. If you on a team with a running quarterback and you get behind, your run game at a certain point in time becomes ineffective.
I agree.
Because now you have to make up yards with passing.
I agree.
And you got to catch up. So if you're using a running quarterback, you're doing two things. Number one, you're putting your quarterback in harm's way by running him. When you got running backs.
I'm not saying Lamar needs to run the ball 20 times a game. I'm saying the threat of him running
That's not
makes
it.
Makes the offense more deadly. That's all.
It's not a threat because you got to think when you get a team that can stop your run game, you're no longer a threat.
Every team in the league has tried to stop Lamar's run game. Put Lamar Jackson on the number 3 rushing team in the league.
Okay,
doesn't make
I
us
hear you.
deadly.
Okay, answer this. Every team has tried to stop Lamar's run game. Why hasn't Lamar only completed one post-game playoff win?
How many years has he been in? He ain't been in the league that long.
Doesn't matter.
Don't matter.
How many times?
He's been in the league long enough.
They said the same thing about Peyton Manning. They said the same thing about Peyton Manning early in his career.
But this is not about Peyton Manning. This is about Lamar Jackson.
You said Lamar Jackson.
That's true.
Right. So that
he's 26. That's what I'm saying. Like he's gonna
doesn't matter his age. How many times has he won the playoffs? If that statement holds true outside of that one playoff.
How many years has he been in the playoffs? 3. He lost his first year. He won his second. He didn't even play.
And he hasn't won one since.
Which was 2 years ago.
Okay.
He don't have like 10 years in the league. He don't have like 10 years.
Okay. But wait.
He ain't that old.
3 years, right? 3 years, right? But if he has a running game that people can't stop, then he should be able to win them playoff games. Am I correct?
No, because in the playoffs, you're going against the top defenses. You need to be able to run and pass. You got to be able to run and pass. I've been saying that the whole time.
There we go.
I've been saying that the whole time.
You said it in the chat, but you didn't say it. You didn't say it on camera.
Nah, y'all tripping, man.
Hold on, y'all.
I don't want Lamar Jackson to run the pistol the whole game. This ain't the 40s, bro. You got to pass the ball, but you need to be able to do both.
Chuck, if Lamar is that damn good, why haven't the Ravens paid him yet?
They're cheap. That's why. If Ozzie Newsome was still there, he would have paid him.
If Lamar was that damn good, why did he have damn near identical numbers as Marcus Mariota?
Hey man, come on, man. Y'all just bringing up numbers, bro. Lamar Jackson ain't nothing compared to Mariota. Stop doing that.
We giving you
Stop
facts.
doing that, man.
We
Stop
No,
giving
doing
you
that.
facts.
No,
Don't
the
look-
pro-
don't-
the
you know,
the
don't do your
problem-
homework, bro.
the
We're not finna sit here and act like Mariota and Lamar Jackson are on
We're
the
not
same
saying
caliber.
that. We're not
We
saying that.
giving you the facts.
The only difference between Mariota. Oh, wait. The only difference between Mariota and Lamar Jackson, Lamar
If you
Jackson's
can't
more
pass.
popular.
No,
What?
stop
shit.
it.
That's
stop it
wild.
right now.
That's wild. That's wild.
Stop the bull crap. Look, let's stop the bull crap.
That's
We
wild.
don't back out of it because this is the last time we're gonna ask this question, all right? Because we gotta end this shit because it's like at the end of the day, I got one question.
Hey, I
How
love
do
y'all
we-
show for real, man. I love y'all show for real.
Man, look, I get it.
We appreciate you for being on, man.
We got this.
Hey, thank
We
y'all for
got
having me.
this.
Thank y'all for having me. No, I ain't went nowhere. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Man. Look. How do you measure a guy's success?
How do I measure? You mean like Lamar Jackson? How would I measure his success?
It don't matter. Hey, guys, it's not even about Lamar. How do you measure a guy's success?
General question.
Well, a quarterback, it would have to be wins. It would have to be wins.
I didn't say a quarterback. I said a guy's success. How do you measure a guy's success? How do you say he's elite? How you say he's good? How you say he's ass? How do you measure a guy's skill set, and how do you measure his success as a player?
You know what? I'm gonna keep that to myself.
He asking you, Chuck.
Yeah. I just want to know. That's a general question.
Yeah. Did y'all hear my answer?
No, we
No.
can't hear.
Oh, my bad. I said, does that player from his position put his team in a better chance to win than not?
How do you
Mariota was a liability. We lost games because of Mariota. I don't think that would ever happen with Lamar.
You didn't answer the question. You didn't answer. You evaded the question. I said, how do you measure whether he's elite, good, or average?
The elite quarterbacks give their team a chance to win any given Sunday.
How do you win games?
Come on. What?
How do you
Somebody
win
highlight Deontay comment because he hit it on the head. Somebody highlight Deontay.
I got it.
Somebody hit it.
I got it.
No. It's simpler than that. No, it's not even that. It's simpler than that. How do you measure a guy's success? How do you say, all right, this guy's an elite quarterback?
Every time he plays, every time he's on the field and he plays, he gives his team the best chance to win. That's how. Tom Brady has had elite rosters. Tom Brady has had elite weapons. Tom Brady has had average weapons. Every year he was a threat to make.
You know exactly where we going. See, now you're just trying to play stupid. You know exactly what I'm going with this. You smart, Chuck. You hella smart. You know exactly where I'm going. You just
I'm honestly I'm not catching where you going, bro. But I'm following you. Where you going?
This right here. You see that?
That part.
You got to put up numbers, right?
Stats. I got you.
Yeah, hold on. I'm about to ask you a question. Why is Tom Brady regarded as the greatest of all time?
6 rings.
You see how numbers work? That's how you compare a guy like Mariota and Lamar, because they have identical numbers. Lamar numbers he's not identical to the great quarterbacks in the league.
Okay, but
so when we say hold on.
All right, go ahead.
So when we say that he's an elite quarterback, we're not saying, when we say he's not an elite quarterback, we're not saying he's not an elite playmaker. We're saying he's not an elite quarterback, because quarterbacks, when it comes down to being elite, great, good, or average, you got to put up the numbers. That's how you measure a guy's status. Is he great? If he's the greatest of all time, LeBron James about to become the greatest of all time right now. When it comes down to points. Why? Because he put up the most numbers. So at the end of the day, if you're not putting up those numbers, how can we say as a quarterback that you're worth $40 million? You're not putting up $40 million worth of numbers.
I have an answer. What about Lamar's win-loss percentage? He's won many more games than he's lost in just this short time in his career. He gives his team the highest chance to win every time he plays.
His team.
And he's
His
still, like
team
I
has
said,
that.
he's 25, so he can still be developing as a quarterback.
I got it, Blackbeard. What side of the ball did Lamar play on?
Offense.
All right. So with their defense, where their offenses are consistently ranked overall?
I honestly don't know.
At least 15. At least 15. We'll give him 15.
Right.
At the least 15. Where Baltimore's defenses rank consistently?
Top 10.
Exactly. You see how that works? You see how it works together?
So would you say you need a complete you need an offense and a defense?
Exactly. See,
I
this
agree.
is now you coming into what we're saying. Now you coming into what we're saying when we talk about Desmond Ridder. We don't need Desmond Ridder to be elite. We need this team to play together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
like
my guy, man. You see what we're talking about now?
To win a Super Bowl, like the idea. I mean, you ain't gonna win no Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer in 2023.
What they did.
In 2023, it's a new day, man. Like you're not getting by with no average QB no more.
What about in 2020? What about in 2021? Or who won in 2021?
Who did? The Rams, didn't they?
Matt Stafford came
he ain't
from
average.
No. Matt Stafford.
2021.
What wasn't that the Bucks?
Or was it 2020 or 2021?
Tom Brady.
No,
yeah,
Nick
Matt
Foles.
Stafford. Tom
Whenever
Brady.
Nick Foles won.
2019.
2019.
Yeah,
what about in 2019?
Okay, so go through the last 15 years of quarterbacks who won the Super Bowl. How many of them was average? That's an outlier. That ain't really gonna happen like that. You need a high level.
That's not. But see, here's the thing. Average quarterbacks winning a Super Bowl isn't a fluke because football is a team sport, like we keep saying.
That's true.
So, and like I said it just before, no one man in football is going to dominate a game without support of his team, to include Tom Brady. So that's just like Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford was on Detroit for so long and never won a championship until he got on the Rams. Why? Because he had a supporting team around him.
I know y'all want to end the show.
People did not rave about Matt Stafford until he got to the Rams. As long as he was on Detroit, he was an average quarterback at best.
No, I don't think he was average. He was a good quarterback in a bad system. He was a good quarterback in a bad system.
He got love in Detroit. He got some.
He got love in Detroit. I'm not saying he was terrible. Don't misconstrue my words. I'm not saying Matt Stafford was terrible, but I'm saying for him to win a championship, he had to have a team around him. He had to have a team. Right. And you're saying that average quarterbacks. No, you got to have a team around you. Even average quarterback can win the Super Bowl with a good team around.
So the only thing I'm worried about is I think the Falcons gonna build the whole roster up. I think they're gonna build the defense. I think they're gonna get weapons. I just hope Desmond Ridder is more than average. Because if we build this whole roster up and then we give the keys to an average quarterback, we're gonna be in the same situation the Cowboys is in right now.
Last thing I'm gonna say, K-Style, to Chuck is just like how you hope what Desmond Ridder would be, you hoping the same thing with Trey Lance, you hoping the same thing with Richardson, you're hoping the same thing with Lamar Jackson. You're hoping. So if we all living off of hope right now,
Trey Lance and Richardson, I give you that, but not Lamar. Not Lamar. Come on,
What?
like
Yeah, the
y'all
proof.
disrespecting
ain't
Lamar.
won a
Boy.
damn
Y'all
thing.
disrespecting
Lamar
the man.
ain't proved shit, man.
Hold on. Let me ask one. Let me ask one more.
That's wild, bro. That's wild.
We got a few minutes. So let's play hypothetical here. Let's play hypothetical here. Okay. Let's say the Atlanta Falcons do pull that move off with Lamar Jackson, right?
Right.
Right. They would have to trade for him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's gonna be your first round pick, your second round pick, your first round pick for next year. You have to throw Desmond Ritter in the deal. Yeah, they might fuck around and ask for Drake London too.
Nah,
Are you taking that deal?
Hell no.
But wouldn't he make the offense more explosive though?
Not without Drake London. Not without no weapons.
Mm.
It'll be the same thing he got in Baltimore. We don't need that.
But see, hold on. See, where Kristaps is going, we can't have an explosive offense if you're trading away all your future picks.
Explosive.
No, if you put Lamar on this team right now, we already explosive.
You think
That's
you
fact.
think that's
But to put him on this team, you're gonna have to sacrifice 3/4 of what would make this explosive.
You don't have to trade none of the offense. You just got to trade the draft picks, right?
No, because you think about it. The money it would take to get him here, you couldn't pay the guys that would protect him on the offense, and you wouldn't be able to have nobody on defense to stop the other team. So
I got one more thing, Warren. I got one more thing for Chuck.
If we got to give up offensive players for him, we don't need it.
I got one more thing for Chuck.
Why,
hey, Chuck.
Why not? He will make the offense explosive.
Who he gonna throw to?
That
It doesn't.
That's what we said.
Hey, Chuck.
But you
Hey,
see
Chuck.
what you
I
see
didn't
what you
know
mean?
they was giving up offensive players. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Hey, Chuck.
Yeah.
You good for having a bottom of the league defense for the next 3-4 years?
Again,
I mean, honestly, the
you
year
good
we
with
went
that?
to the year we went to the Super Bowl, we didn't have a good defense.
I'm asking you a question, bro. You good with that? You good with having a bottom of the league defense again for the next 3, 4, 5 years? You good with that?
I'm gonna be honest. If the offense is high powered, scoring 30, 35 a game, as long as we could like semi improve the pass rush, I'll be cool with it. We don't need this super elite defense. That's just me. That's just me. That's just me.
Hold on. Didn't we just go through this shit?
But think about it. Think about it though. We almost won the Super Bowl with a high-powered offense and a below-average defense.
We can get drunk and smoke weed all day. It don't matter if it's lonely, baby.
But see that then if that's where you're going with, then you just described the 2018-2019 Falcons.
Yeah,
because
but
we were
your
putting up.
quarterback is 26. But your quarterback is 26, and
The
you got
age has nothing to do with it.
It does.
The age has
Your
nothing to do
quarterback
with
is.
it.
I'm saying your quarterback is 26 and not in his 30s. You can have 7 year. You can have a 7-year shot at it.
You can put a 26-year-old quarterback behind a terrible O-line, and you can put a 36-year-old quarterback behind a terrible O-line. The result will be the same. They're gonna get their ass tore out the frame. Doesn't matter how big the arm is.
Our O-line isn't terrible though. Our O-line
the team, no, but what you got to understand is age has nothing to do with the team around them. If they don't have a good team around them, they're gonna have the same result. Doesn't matter the age bracket.
Hey, go ask RG3 how that worked out. Where he at now?
Well, if Lamar come here right now, we don't have a terrible O-line. We don't have a terrible O-line.
Well, see, but that's the thing though, because Lamar still garners $40-some-odd million, and the Falcons right about now have just about that much. And if you do that, you have to give away parts of the team that would make this a high-power offense, as you say. So you sacrifice building a team for one man just to appease the fans, which, like they said, would put us back 5 years. because you wouldn't
You
get
think
that money
it'll
back.
set us back that far though?
Yeah,
'cause
because you
have
got to think. You gotta get new players that you gotta develop now on the defense and the offense.
You giving up
Instead of
picks
filling in
and
spots.
you're not gonna have no money. You're giving up picks and you're not gonna have no money. So
Yeah,
how do you expect to build?
because you have to think about it.
Not no 5 years. It ain't worth
Atlanta, it don't matter if it's 5 years and 4. You gonna have to at least, if you're gonna get him here, you gonna have to at least give him at least to try to work out a 6-7 year deal just to make the shit work. See, now what's gonna end up happening is if you trade for him, you're going to have to pay. So there goes your $40 to $45 million right there for this year. So you can kiss free agency goodbye.
But don't we have like more cap room next year and the year after that?
Matter. Oh, that's gone.
No,
It prorates. It prorates.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because even if you get rid of Mariota, that's 12. That's
just
still
going
gonna have to go
to your
Yeah, that's
draft
gone.
class. That's your draft class right there.
Can I say some K Styles and then you can mute me? I promise you can. Bridget, we're not trying to disregard anybody's opinion. All we want is for when you have an opinion and you're brave enough, because Chuck was brave enough to come on here in front of the world and give his opinion.
We love you, bro.
Yeah.
We
man, I love y'all so, man. This all
Appreciate
fun,
you, Chuck.
man. This all fun, bro. Yeah, it's all fun.
But when you're brave enough like Chuck to come on here, give your opinion, and try to bag it up, all we ask is that you make it make sense. Because what we're doing when we give you all our feedback is we're giving you stats, we're giving you things the coaching staff has said, we're giving you all of this stuff, we're giving you resources, we're giving you sources for why we're saying the things we're saying. So all we ask is that with your opinion, have something to bag it up with that makes sense. And if it don't make sense, we will call you out on it. It's simple as that.
One more question? Can I ask y'all one more question?
Everybody's opinion is valued.
Right.
Okay, what if hypothetically, like best case scenario, we build a team this year, Lamar plays on the franchise, and then he walks as a free agent next year, and we don't have to give up draft capital. All we got to do is give him the big contract. Would y'all be for that?
It would still be the same situation we had with Mariota because he still plays similar. That's the thing. Listen, look, now hear me out. We're not saying Lamar is not a great athlete. We're not taking away none of the accolades he had. We're not taking away none of that. We're saying that we just got out of a similar situation. And what Arthur Smith and them are looking for is not only a quarterback that can run if he needs to, but more importantly, one that can throw. If you look at what they're doing right now, we have coaches on both sides of the ball to build balance. So it makes sense to have a quarterback that embodies that. He's got to be balanced. He's got to be able to run if he needs to, but he's got to be able to throw. Same way we got to be able to have a defense to stop other teams so that when we put up numbers, we're not trying to have a shootout to stay in the game. They're going for balance. Lamar's a great athlete, but he's going to be the same situation just like Mariota. Only thing is he ain't going to be timid. But I'm saying that's why I say Lamar's more popular than Mariota. That's the numbers say what they say, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason why we say that.
There was a lot of throws this year that if Mariota was just an average quarterback, I think we could have been a playoff team this year. There was a lot of missed throws, man. Like, you put Lamar or hopefully even Ritter, or if I want Anthony Richardson, but if you just put a average passer in there, we probably are a playoff team this year.
If you don't goddamn fumble the ball, you probably be a playoff team.
Right, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, all the quarterbacks we name, they're not gonna be a detriment. Like Mariota that shit was crazy, man. But
all right, go ahead, Mike. What you about to do? I was about to say you might as well go ahead and end it because damn it, I ain't know we was.
Yeah, let's close it. But I'll say this: the only way I'll take Lamar is if we already have a defense that's already in place. I'm taking Lamar. I'm risking that franchise. I'll trade for him, maybe give up a first round pick if our defense was in place, but we don't have a defense that's in place. So it's really, it's like you're building for no reason. Like you're basically giving away a first round pick to contend for a championship. And we see that happening with the Rams right now. They traded about 3 years worth of first round picks away in 1 year. Now they don't even know if they have a fully committed Aaron Donald, a Cooper Kupp that's healthy, and their coaches already got 1 foot out the door. So is it really worth it? Probably not, but that's the only way that I would take Lamar if it's for 1 year and our defense is already set.
Right. And if you end up winning the championship, like, isn't it kind of worth it to go for it all?
Not if you lose in the next year. Not if you ain't got picks.
Yeah. You want longevity. You don't want that. You don't want to be one and done.
The one and done sounds good. But if you, like I said, you can have that one. But if you fall into obscurity for the next 3 or 4 years because you can't build a team, I mean, yeah, you can say, yeah, I got that one. But do you want to win that one and end up being the last?
For a guy like Arthur Smith. It'd be good for Arthur Smith if Arthur Smith just like, all right, I'm about to retire, so I'm gonna go all out this 1 year. It'd be worth it.
Or because this team's so good at this staff so good at recruiting and scouting, hell, it could work for them to go all in in a year and possibly lose a lot of those pieces because we know they're gonna be able to go out there and pull out the talent.
All right.
Hey, y'all caught me up, man. Y'all got it, man. Y'all got it, bro. Y'all got it, man.
Appreciate you coming on, my brother.
Hey, appreciate you.
Look. At least you had the fortitude to do so.
Yes, sir. We salute you, bro.
Sure. I love y'all show, man. I love y'all show.
Hey,
but like I said,
we appreciate you as always, man.
Like I said, we can continue this conversation another show. Like I said, we talk more so about, like I said, what do you think the plans would be for this team and stuff like that. So you could probably be on the lookout for that, man.
Hey, for sure. And once again, Anthony Richardson gonna be the truth, man. I'm telling y'all, look out.
I'm good.
He got antelope legs. Like Robert Griffin.
Hey, y'all have a good night, man.
All right, man. Enjoy your night, man.
I was about to say, damn, Mike, what, you about to get the graphic or something?
See, that's
all right, y'all, man.
We just want to have a conversation. I love the fact that like Chuck wasn't scared to come on and he didn't act like a little bitch and hide because you didn't want to have a conversation with people. Okay, we got a lot of little bitches out here that scared to come on and talk. Ain't nobody gonna fight you. Ain't nobody gonna hit you upside the head with a bullet or a damn gun. We just talking. All right, so stop acting like little bitches and come on the fucking show. Okay, damn.
Just want to call foosball. That's it.
And like I said, if you got, and like we always say before, and we say it again, we are not for everybody. So if you got a problem with anything that we do, you do one of two things. You either watch it or you don't. But don't go around pillow talking to other motherfuckers about how we ain't shit. Because we got eyes everywhere.
Motherfucker Blackberry, I'm gonna tell you about what that motherfucker said. I'm tell you what he said.
I see what you did there,
And I agree with what you said, and
I concur.
I see that indubitably.
Boy.
We just want to have a conversation, even if the conversation ain't pretty. This conversation wasn't pretty, but we had it.
Exactly.
And we got an understanding of how Chuck feels, and that's what it's all about, man.
Right.
Just having the conversation. Yeah, stop acting like little bitches and just come on the damn show. Damn.
So if it feels like we hounded him, no. We literally did the same thing to him that most of y'all do to us.
And hell, that we do to each other.
And we
Right.
do to each other all the
Right.
goddamn time.
Okay.
We
Bro,
just
we do
we
this
just
shit to
ask
each other.
questions.
Mhm.
We ask difficult questions. That's it.
Right. Like I said, we all in competition with each other. Y'all don't know this, but me and Mike in competition all the goddamn time.
All the time.
All the time.
Hey, Bridget, you can come on the Rex Pit Thursday night, 8 p.m. You can come on the
Yeah.
Rex Pit, Bridget. I'd love to
Come
have
on
you.
up. Come on up.
Oh boy.
All right, let's go ahead and end this shit.
You got something in common.
Somebody's coming. Why? Look, I'm about to say, watch this shit end up on somebody else's channel. You heard what these motherfuckers said about this?
I'm sick of that damn K-Styles. He has his smart aleck mouth. I'm sick of him. I'm sick of him.
They talketh about me to my faces. I don't like it.
That mad Mike is always talking shit.
They talk about runneth the damn ball.
They're not maketh me feel good.
That sick man, he doesn't even know how to spell Styles correctly.
I put the Z's on there, motherfucker, because I'm going to put your ass to sleep. No.
Nope.
Hold on. I got to end it right. I got to end it with the right picture. This is how we looked after the damn show. After the show.
Yes. The blunt maketh me feel good.
Year he.
Friends, countrymen, lend me your eardrum. Smoke a blunt and maketh me feel good forevermore.
All right, y'all, man. Until next time, man. Y'all make sure y'all check out the Rex Pick on Thursday, man, as well as Champagne Confessions. Y'all possibly may get a heavy hitter show tomorrow. It all depends on how we feel. So until next time, people, we ain't here to play. We here to stay.
Get the hell out.
Because if you don't, we're gonna make this face.
Good night, you all.
That nigga look like he's saying, I like some coffee with my salt. On tape! Yes, sir.